So
last week.
Last week
but we had a
there.
guest, so I was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only sit there when we have a guest.
It feels different.
You feel different.
Can you sit on my lap?
Whoa.
No, yeah, your birthday's
what are you
over.
about to say?
Your birthday's over.
My birthday's still being celebrated.
No, it
when,
isn't.
When it's the last celebration, that's when it's over.
It was over at midnight of the day of. So nobody, you're not special anymore. Now
Well,
you're 36. That's it. That's all you got.
Tell it to the world, Joe.
Keenan is not special anymore. He is now 36.
You know how trees get more rings
He's
when
just
they're
regular.
older? Kenny gets more wrinkles
Dick.
around his penis when he's
I
old.
knew it. Fucking knew you were going to say something like that.
What about it?
I know you're right about it.
I know you right. I know you right about it.
Anyway, friends that care wanted to celebrate, so they're celebrating. Even if it's after my birthday. So
friends
fuck you.
that care are celebrating.
Did nobody celebrate your birthday with you, Kenny?
Did nobody celebrate your birthday with you?
Only one person officially and unofficially, two. So unofficially, it was Joe because Joe had to go to lunch and he didn't want to go to lunch.
I can't even
And
believe he's
the whole-
unofficially,
the-
even though
the whole
we went
entire
to
time
lunch-
he was like, "Why am I here? I hate you. You're not a real friend. I'm
That's
just doing
weird
this
because
as like a
I
favor."
remember
You know.
taking
Don't do it, Joe.
Keenan
Don't even do it. Don't even justify his
lunch.
behavior.
Wait, you
Paying
took
for his
me to lunch.
lunch.
Who called who to lunch that day?
You did.
Exactly.
God.
Now, who said you didn't have to pay for lunch? This guy.
my
Who offered to pay for lunch anyway? That guy.
God.
And I
He is
still would have
so
sucked your dick,
unappreciative.
even if it wasn't. I mean, I still would have, appreciated and hung out. And it was fun. It was actually part of my extravaganza. Now, the second person to celebrate my birthday was Philly at midnight. Oh, no, it was actually the third person. There's one more. My coworker at the place I used to work with.
You don't have a job though, so I don't know what to say.
My ex coworker. Jesus,
I'm just saying.
you're
Kid
already.
is like, so let me tell you about the people that I think kind of did okay celebrating my birthday.
I know.
And then there was somebody who
Seriously.
legit like made an announcement, made a flyer. It was a whole thing.
Wait, who did that?
Nobody, right?
Oh,
It's funny because I
Nobody-
even posted about you. I put.
I know.
This is my
So
friend
here's
Keenan.
the crazy thing. Now, that was my fault because I announced on the
you
day
guys
of my
do realize
birthday.
we're recording this
I
shit,
did.
right?
So I'm gonna say it real quick before Joe does his announcement. So Philly and I went out, and then unless you want to talk about this officially on the podcast, I thought I was gonna say this. Then we talk about other
We're
things.
already talking.
We're already talking. You
I
might
feel like
you might
we-
as well finish your point.
I feel like we could talk because I mean, anyway. So it has to be whoop de whoop.
Okay, go.
So
Go finish what the fuck you were gonna say. If we're not gonna do this.
Happy birthday, Keenan. Whoop de whoop. That's gonna be the name of this episode. No, fuck that. Because you're complaining about your
Yeah, that's
birthday.
what I'm saying.
You're not getting a birthday name episode.
you didn't even do it last episode. You just did me a shout out. Anyway, so Philly went out.
Oh, speaking of my last birthday,
He's so ungrateful.
I am
Look at
not
him.
ungrateful. I said thanks.
Okay, so continue.
I forgot where I was going.
Welcome all to the None of Our Business podcast, episode 59. We are your humble and gracious hosts, Philly.
Yo.
Philly Fanatic,
Uh.
P Steezy,
Yo.
P Money, Sane, Silent Tempo, Philanthropy, Philosophy.
Oh my
That's me.
God.
We got Keenan,
I'm
the
crying.
punk ass motherfucker. Fuck his
Straight
birthday.
bitch.
Straight bitch.
Bitch exclusive.
See notice. See your way out of here
I
because
remember
nobody
that.
gives a fuck about you, you piece of shit.
I remember that on your birthdays when you are ungrateful as fuck.
And I'm
I
Joe.
know you are. You're like that every day anyway.
I don't give a fuck.
And you don't accept anything from anybody, so fuck you too, Philly. So
at him.
anyway, the rest of the day, what happened was, there's a point I was going to make to it though, but Philly and I went to karaoke, and that was at midnight, or close to midnight. It was around that time. And then prior to that, my coworker, she is part of this burlesque show out in Silver Lake, so I went to that. That was the third person. But when we went to karaoke, we did an Instagram shout out thing, and I said it was my birthday, and then all of a sudden, like 5-6 people said, "Hey, happy birthday." However, prior to that, throughout the whole day. I only got like 2 happy birthdays.
You know,
and
it's
your
quite
point is
possible
to-
that people have simply forgotten.
That's just the answer to your question. But when you said you announced it on the podcast on Sunday, you thought people
No,
would do it?
on your birthday, I posted a little post about you with
Yeah,
the
you
little
did.
with the ice cream.
I know. I hate it. I didn't like that. I commented on it. I was like, fuck
Oh
you.
my God.
Wow.
Yeah. It was good. But
I
you-
didn't like that.
You know
Yeah.
what?
what
are
a
you talking-
dick.
You posted me sucking down an
I'm
ice
over
cream
here
dip,
showing him
deep
love,
throwing.
like that he's my family and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
how
wrote
many?
that. He wrote
I
that
literally
on-
I
wrote,
did.
"This is my
And
my family."
I saw that. How many photos?
and then he's like, "I didn't like
you're
that."
how many photos or videos have you have of me on your phone besides that one of me
They're all
deep
nasty.
You know what,
throating?
They're all
Joe?
nasty.
You know what,
No,
Joe?
they're not.
It's time we treat Keenan like a man. You know, like a
You know
real
what?
man.
You're right. You're right.
You already do. You say fuck me. You don't like cater
Look
me.
at him. Look
All
at
right,
him.
all right. So we're gonna air this out on the
explain-
podcast.
How about
right?
explaining to me what a man?
edited
How do you
shit
treat like a
out.
man?
Look,
Why don't
look
you
at
show
how,
me?
Look at how he's not understanding what I'm saying. Like legitimately, legit. Okay,
Go back to the
Take a deep
statement.
breath.
Let's go. Let's
Take
go
a
back
deep
to the real
breath.
statement.
pause. What I said was, it's time to treat Keenan like a man. Meaning, I think it's time we stop making dirty jokes at your expense. Is what I was literally saying, Keenan.
That is a meaning that only you would have gotten. There's no way. There's no
I
way.
guarantee you,
Oh, really?
anybody who listens to this would think of this exact same. That's literally what I was saying.
You cannot go out into the street and say, "I'm gonna treat this person like a man."
You
No,
could see Keenan's
specifically,
face specifically.
they'll specifically get that.
Okay.
Hey, you're still a piece of shit, so I don't give a fuck.
See what I mean? It's no difference. I've already come to an acceptance of the way you treat me.
He's still a boy, not yet a man.
I'm not a girl. I'm not yet a woman.
There's no way.
I'm just
It's
gonna
rude.
let him be self-deprecating.
How is that self-deprecating?
I'm just gonna say that's what I'm saying. I'm
That
just
is
gonna
not
let you.
self-deprecating.
I
you
think
be
by
self-
the end of this
I'm not gonna do that
podcast,
anymore.
You give me shit, I give you shit.
no, that's what I'm
It's the
saying. Though. I'm
same
not
thing.
gonna. I'm not gonna talk shit to you anymore.
Oh, lie! You want to put
No.
some money on that?
I'll put some money on it.
Oh,
How much do you want
okay.
to put on it?
Keenan's legs
much
are
do you wanna
literally
put on it?
shaking from the
I
sheer
know.
pressure. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know how we
How
got
much do you want to
started.
bet that
how long?
I don't know. How long do you want to go for?
Forever.
That's
I
pretty-
have a suspicion. Fuck, Keenan, you're rubbing off on me.
Oh, see, there goes Philly.
I
That's
have,
one.
I have a suspicion that
He didn't make any
at the
agreement
end
with
of
you.
this session, you're gonna be like, "Hey, can we remove like the first 10 minutes of the podcast?"
no,
please?
why? I never do that. You two do that.
I don't do that.
I don't do it.
When did I ever say let's edit the podcast? I've never said edit the podcast.
When I mention certain people in the podcast.
Shut up.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what?
That's what I thought.
So your birthday?
No, don't. Let's.
He
let's
said no. Don't.
Let's not even indulge it anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Why not, Philly?
Keenan,
Don't you want to treat me like a man?
yeah, and like a man, you should take your time to take your opportunity when it presents itself.
That's true.
What?
No. He's like, what? He's like, what are we
Bullshit.
talking about here specifically? Because
This was the episode where the podcast fell apart.
hey, did any of you go to NAM?
What's NAM?
Oh, never mind then.
Someone asked me the same thing, and they were like, "Hey, you got industry connections, right?" I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What kind of perception do you people have of me?" I said, "You people too." He was
I
like, "What do you
know.
mean, you people?"
What do you mean, you people? NAM is like a. It's like a. It's like a.
What's wrong with me stirring my cup?
It's like a music convention.
Let's get an explanation of this Philly pointing at my cup, stirring.
Well, I can tell from your body language, your frustrations are beginning to act out beyond your ability to constrain them.
What?
I have no
What?
idea.
Where do you get? I think you guys read in too much into me.
I don't read into shit. Don't you know that I listen to audiobooks?
That's funny.
That's true.
It's 100% true.
No, okay, so NAM is like this music conference. It's like any live instrumentation
A lot of people
and
I
anything
follow
having
were
to do
at
with
NAM
touring
for
and stuff
sure.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what was that, CSAC or whatever that one thing is? But
CPAC.
CPAC, but instead for
CPACs?
the design convention.
CGRAPH?
Yeah, CGRAPH. Yeah.
There's a CPAC or CPACs too. That's kind of like
Or
Whatever.
CSAC, according to Philly.
It's like Comic-Con, but for musicians.
yeah, pretty much,
yeah,
pretty
okay.
much,
I
yeah.
get it.
bunch of people hit me up.
Emerging technologies, prodigies.
It's funny because I actually can get people into NAM, but nobody's ever like asked me.
So I was like, so I can kind of do it, but like since you motherfuckers don't ask,
No, just they haven't asked me. So, and I'm not the person.
You're not
that's
gonna go out of your way.
Yo, everybody, I can hook everybody to get into NAM. What's up? Like,
even though when you do go out of your way for somebody, it's usually unappreciated, right?
yeah, it's okay. I don't mind.
Okay, all right. So that's one for Philly.
What? Keenan, nobody is talking. What are you
Bullshit. I see the look at your faces.
We basically said in general.
No, because you look directly at
all
Joe.
the time. No,
I was looking at you because I was
Don't
like,
give me that.
don't you feel like when you when you go out of your way for people that people don't appreciate it?
100%. I know you're talking about me about that one.
Jeez Louise.
Don't give me. I
feel like you're reading too much into me, Keenan.
You know what? I swear to God, I could. If I wish I had those. I wish I had some that I could. You know, remember in Black Mirror, they had those like eyeballs and stuff that you can like reverse and see what they saw.
Yeah.
So like that. See, if I had that for your
augmentation,
exactly. If I had that for your minds, I know. I guarantee you, that's exactly. If it had subtitles, it would say
somebody.
This is about Keenan.
Somebody would play that back and just see all the dick pics their girl got sent.
Damn,
you do
that'd
that?
be crazy. Can you look into other people? Were you able to look
so
into other
that
people's
was the
stuff?
whole thing. So it's just like that
You
Robin
couldn't.
Williams
It was only
movie.
you though, right?
So it was like that Robin Williams movie where he would edit their life as they died, so you could see what their point of view was like. Except instead, there was this guy who was convinced his girl had cheated on him at some point.
No, I know. I remember
We're
that.
talking
It was a
specifically
dope
about
episode.
Black Mirror, though. Was an episode like that? No, there wasn't. But
you
was
couldn't
one.
see into other people's.
You kind of could go into other people's minds, which is the John Hamm one, where he went into and create like this alternate reality to catch a killer or predator.
That wasn't what I was
I've never
talking
seen
about,
that
though.
one.
I was just saying, like, you know how you can review and rewind to a point
Yeah,
in time.
I know which one you're talking about. I know what movie you're
Right,
talking
so I'm
about.
saying, could you imagine like you rewind to a point where you see her looking at her Instagram and
He's adding to it.
you catch all the dick pics and you're just like, oh shit, man, they hit my girl up all the damn time. Can you imagine the shit you would see?
You know what's crazy is like, I can't imagine how often people get.
Don't you just
sent
feel bad
shit
for
that, you know?
especially when you got someone who's really down and they're just constantly turning down dick left and right, left and right. You know, dudes are just
and
out
then
there
they
like,
look over you and they're like, this is what I'm sacrificing all this dick for.
yeah, they're like, you can't even you don't even know, you don't even know, and you're like, shit, I got this on lock. You know what I mean? That's a fucked up truth of our evolution in biology.
Did you read that in a book?
No, I lived it, my guy.
You lived it?
Lived it, my
He
guy.
is it.
She looked at you and was like, damn, you don't know how much dick offering I'm getting.
Don't you know the song "You Must Not
Probably.
Know About Me"? I could have another you in a minute. And
Is that Beyonce?
And immediately I'm like, hold on, another me in a minute. So that means this guy's been around for a minute, and nobody ever fucking talks about that.
I think it's an interesting concept. As far as
If she can get another one of me in a minute, meaning somebody that had invested that much already, that automatically means.
I don't think that's what Beyonce and them meant by that though.
Because, you can go out and get dick again, but you can't get love like that.
No, I don't think that's what she was referencing. I think she was referencing like another person, like the individual, not like all the hardship and all the love and all that stuff. Like
just
she was
another guy.
basically saying, yeah, I could find another dude that's pretty
That
much
could
like
be
you.
like you or better than you.
Yeah,
Or,
Right, but
Like
could
that.
she really?
I'm pretty sure Beyonce could find whoever
Yeah.
the fuck she wants.
I think it's
Yeah,
but
based on
metaphor.
what?
It's a metaphor for the women out there. Like
To
you don't-
empower them, I get it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just
I mean, and you have to think-
I'm just saying.
And you have to think of the simple men that are out there,
Sure.
The ones
They're
that send
never
all the
going to be
dick
able to
pics.
find guys like us. I mean, do you send dick pics?
No, the guys that all the other average guys out there
That send dick pics.
pics.
Yeah. I can't, I can't say I've ever sent a dick pic ever in my life.
Same.
Can you send one? Like, is it? I mean, we might need one of those like telescopic. Like
of course, you can send a
was
dick
it like
pic,
that? We
but
need
I've
a
never
Hubble.
had-
We need a Hubble telescope for Joe's dick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
See where I was going with that?
You couldn't take it, could you?
Take what?
You had to take a shot, huh?
That wasn't a shot.
Yeah, that is.
Your dick
The
isn't
Hubble
small.
telescope?
Yeah, that's big.
So you can zoom in?
No, so you can see fucking big ass universes from afar. That's how big your dick is.
Oh God.
It's big.
I don't really know.
Just the way he said it's big. Like you guys can't see it, but he's
Be
like
my friend again. Be my friend again.
he's extending, like you guys can't see it, but Keenan's got like this, all his arms out. He's like, you can see his wingspan. Like, it's big, Joe. It's a big ass dick. Please.
It's a good looking dick, Peter.
It's a good looking dick. Damn, that was a good movie too.
That's funny.
What movie was that?
I don't know what kind of episode we're having here, but it's a very special one.
It's a dick heavy
Hey,
episode.
Your mom's on next week, huh?
Speaking of
I
my
have no
dick,
idea why that just came into like. Oh, wait a
speaking
minute,
of my
no.
dick, how's your mom doing?
No,
Wow,
no.
Joe. Wow.
No.
Wow.
See what you did, Philly.
Wow.
That was not even what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Wow.
You know,
All
it's
right.
funny. It's funny. People are always looking to pass the buck of blame. That's the first thing people always do.
My guy.
Wow, my guy. Okay, let's do it.
Moment
Have
of
you-
weakness.
Have you guys
It's been approved though. She's down.
she's down. Wait, what? No, wait, huh? Jeez.
Come on, guys. Can we actually have an episode here? People are driving.
Exactly.
Listen
They're
to
having
us.
a ball right now.
They're supposed to feel like they're in the room with us.
They
Aw.
are.
Yeah, people have said that they feel like they really, really, really know us.
Yeah, they really
Because
they
of
do.
this.
Again, I can't emphasize how many times I've been out somewhere and someone's like, "Yo, your pod, it's dope." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Did I tell you about my client last week?
He was like listening to it or something.
Yeah,
like that.
he
was
just
like really.
called me randomly
It was
about
like-
asking me about some
it was
work,
like-
and he's like, "Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Your podcast. I'm playing it in the back." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
That's right.
He's like,
And
you
I
guys
think
are fucking crazy, man.
He was like, "What are you doing?
I know.
What are you
He
wearing?"
said, "Listen to this.
Nah.
Do you hear that? They're the next big thing."
That's love, man. That's what's
true.
up. I appreciate it.
and seeing them on Instagram.
Personally, I can only speak for myself, but I appreciate it.
I missed it.
It's okay. All right. So,
Keenan's like, motherfucker. I swear to fucking God.
he's like,
I don't-
"Fuck you guys.
I
I have
don't
no
get
idea
it."
what's happening."
Keenan's ready to pick up a rifle. I'll be back.
I do not support
My mom's
killing
in
of
town.
one's friends.
Oh, yeah?
pretty
She
dope.
is?
Yeah, she's in town.
Where's she coming from? I thought she lives in LA.
No. What
She
Oh,
lives in Mexico, man.
oh.
She's lived in Mexico for
We
like
don't
the
talk,
last
Joe.
7
We
years.
don't talk. So we talk about your dad sometimes.
We never talk about my dad.
Yes, we do.
Fuck that.
Now
We
I don't
didn't
bet.
talk about
Yes, we
him.
did. I was in the car.
I don't talk about my dad.
When you were-
I hardly. When's the last time I talked about my dad?
This was 2 years ago, and I remember it. Well, you said never, and I'm like, no, you spoke about him.
Yeah, but we don't talk about my dad.
We don't talk anymore.
I know, not recently.
Oh, I listened to the new Selena Gomez.
Is it any good?
It's like 2 songs that I liked.
The whole
if
album?
Selena Gomez was like, "Yo, you want to go out for dinner?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah,
Yeah.
you paying?" No, I'm
She
kidding,
like-
kidding,
Nah,
kidding.
21 or
Totally.
something like that.
Selena Gomez is like,
Yeah,
no,
She's cute, man,
like
and she's
20.
also actually
8.
very articulate, which is something that I find irresistible. Anytime I meet a girl that can articulate, I'm not saying that all women aren't capable. What I'm saying is,
That's
It's
what it
rare.
sounds like, Phil. It sounds like you're saying always.
Wow.
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 hey,
Philly. Well, why are you such a woman hater? What's happened? What happened to you?
you know what it is?
It used to be
Somebody
me.
broke my heart.
Oh, you can always have mine
Really?
That was weird.
because I don't use it. So
Oh wow.
Oh,
Keenan's like, I'm a
Keenan.
robot.
there's no one to give it to.
I don't have
No, seriously. Can you believe that one of my biggest turn-ons is someone who can articulate?
I thought it was a
I
vagina.
mean, I think for any I think for not intellectual, but I think for anyone who has a capable mind, someone who is articulate would be pretty attractive.
Absolutely.
So describe this articulate personality person. Where are they talking
Like
about
if
when you
I
say
had a
articulate?
choice between the biggest ass and just this bad girl, just hot girl summer, whatever the fuck, right? And then there was this person who was, they took care of themselves in general and were able to articulate. I would legitimately look at that and then realize that the whole hot girl summer thing is a lot more trouble than it's worth. And actually,
what if the hot girl summer is also
well, I mean, I'd probably bust the nut where I stand.
Well, my question is on articulate. What is articulate? That's my question.
Keenan's like, all right, I'm gonna pull out Google, but before I do that, let's just do this on the podcast.
Now I want to get your both definitions of what an articulate person is and does.
I think someone who
give it a specific scenario.
I think someone who can clarify what they're speaking about, who can say it with ease, who can, I don't know, articulate.
Yeah, you know how I tell you to frame things.
Yeah, they're just the way they can speak, their manner of speaking. Articulation.
Keenan's not convinced. All right, hold on. Let's do this.
No, I don't want the dictionary Oxford definition. I got that. I want to get your both because see, the words we come up with and the definition we have for are always different per person.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And I want to get your per person.
Well, why didn't you say that to begin with?
That's exactly what I said, Philly.
No,
yes, I did. Bit, yeah. What is your definition of articulate? That's what I said. So I asked.
Right. That's what you asked.
Oh my God.
But you should have articulated, hey, because people using words can create different meanings for them, what specifically is your
There's
definition?
No need for that. If I say, what does articulate mean to you? That says everything. That doesn't say, oh, what it means is I'm going to go on Google and look it up in a dictionary for you and tell you its definition. I said,
it's like, don't insult my fucking intelligence.
I'm being articulate, damn it.
Hey, Kenan.
No, I'm not.
Which you usually aren't.
Oh, fuck you. Boom, that's where I won my money.
But how did you win money?
Because you just ripped on me.
Oh, so wait.
You said you never showed me.
Keenan's running a fucking a propaganda censorship government.
Wow. Look at that.
No, it's not. Wow.
Keenan's like,
no, I'm wowing you, homie.
He's like, so now you're not even now you're not even allowed to talk any shit to me at all.
You said you were never gonna do it, and you did, and I didn't bet, and I wish I did.
He said he would no longer emasculate you, essentially.
What?
Yeah.
That's a no. That's a no. That was a meaning. That's different.
What?
That you didn't.
Keenan.
You didn't articulate. You didn't articulate it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The implication was this.
Take your time, buddy.
Let me get the synonyms for articulate.
Fuck. What was I talking
Your
about?
definition of articulate. What does it mean for you?
I just told you.
Well, I can get feelings.
Okay. For me, essentially, anyone who can present an idea and then use more than one syllable words and throw it out in a way that I am now better having listened to it than having never heard them say anything at all. So words not wasted. Someone who knows how to take the word and actually create an experience where someone's mind is changed or inspired or enlightened or ignited. For me, that's articulate.
I just don't think it has anything to do with physical, and you kind of used physical to compare.
And the first time, but then when I had to clarify
him.
What I was saying that's what I found most attractive, and I said most people, generally, I didn't say this, but generally speaking, most people are physically attracted to someone, right? And that's why they go for it. And I understand that. And I'm saying that if I had a choice between someone extremely physical attractive like that and just
physically
someone who's
attractive as opposed to someone who's not physically attractive who can articulate, you would prefer the person who's not physically attractive. I would prefer to spend
my time, with that person.
Now, I think...
Now, whether something actually happens...
Bullshit on that one, but okay.
No.
Because so you're telling me that if you don't find a person physically attractive, but they're articulate, you're going to choose that person over someone who's physically attractive?
Yeah.
Now, I know.
Call bullshit.
Now, see, I know we're on the internet and this is going to everywhere. And you don't want to run into somebody who gives you shit.
I'm not saying that I don't place any value on physical attractiveness.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that if I had a choice between someone who was that physically attractive but wasn't capable of actually articulating ideas, I wouldn't be spending time with them, no matter how physically attractive they are.
Okay.
I personally wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's my choice to be with a partner that isn't physically attractive. That doesn't make any sense.
But I thought that's what we were just comparing. You said if you had a choice.
No, all I was trying to say was what I find most attractive in a person is their ability to articulate if they have it. And
That's the most attractive. So there could be other things, but that is the main.
If they don't have that, usually everything else loses a lot of points for me.
Okay.
That's all I was trying to say. And then
I know, but you're the one that made the comparison of a physically attractive person as opposed to someone who isn't.
You know what? If that's how it came across, I'm sorry.
Because ideally,
that's not what I meant.
I would have to look at your catalog of women you've been with and see if any of them.
You can literally do that.
Oh.
And
really?
I mean, you can. I mean, there's Instagram, and you could just look at all the girls that he used to date.
And it should be pretty clear. I mean,
it's not to say that he's going to give it to you in a silver platter and say, "Here are all the women I've dated."
I was hoping
you're going to have to do your research a little bit.
Don't you film all of them?
What?
Wow, Keenan, you are
on
the gutter.
What planet have I ever told you that I filmed anything?
The little teddy bear. You know, the one that you put on the counter?
You're making me look really bad, Keenan, but I guess this is what it feels like when we talk shit to you. So
and now it's complete.
Except, usually when we talk shit, it tends to be true.
Whereas really?
When you talk shit about me, like saying that right now,
wow.
Which it's okay though, because I don't mind. I know I don't have teddy bears. First of all.
Okay.
I don't even know plushes.
I'll remember that the next time you guys give me some shit and it's totally not true. Okay. All right, Philly, it's recorded. Where's my recorder?
Now, I just want to clarify. I'm sensing a lot of tension this entire episode.
You're sensing nothing. You're sensing stuff you want to sense, and it's not even there, Philly. But I know
what happened before I got here.
You know what's gonna happen? This is it. I'm putting this down right here in my dating calendar.
What are you putting down?
In your dating calendar? Wait.
Well, don't worry about that.
No, what are you putting down?
Nothing. I'm just scrolling through my phone.
Jeez, Keenan. Have you guys caught up on My Hero Academia or started it at all or anything?
Nope.
Jeez, Louise.
Haven't.
Filthy, you're missing some of the greatest.
I believe it, man. I believe it. I definitely.
That's because Philly has no time. You're always doing stuff.
Yeah, but it's probably. I've been thinking a lot about that, and I think I take on a lot of shit, and I just got to get that sorted out. There's a lot of.
There's always time. There's always time. Honestly, like I mean, I can attest to like not having time, but somehow I always find time to do like super small things, like watching anime and shit like that. Like I mean, I work a lot, and I work like long shifts, and I do like overnights, and I travel, and I have to do all these things. But somehow I always find things for the things I like, time for the things I like.
Yeah.
Always. Like
I guess
hanging out with you guys, doing this podcast every Sunday. Like I make the time, unless it's absolutely unavoidable where I have to work today or like for example today, right after the pod, I'm going to travel to Coachella. That's a 2.5 hour drive, but I'm still here. Like so.
In case the world was wondering. Yeah, I'm a very important man. I've got many leather-bound books.
Weird flex, but okay. Weird flex, but okay.
No, yeah, I don't know. I think it's personally on my behalf. I think you just mismanage my time. I
think you're just used to saying that you don't have time.
Does that make you not have time if you keep saying you don't have time?
I just know that Monday is like the worst day of the week for me in particular, just in general, like because everything from client work to auditions to whatever the fuck else comes my way, like all things circulate back to Monday or Tuesday, and either way it was due yesterday. Generally speaking, and I think it's a matter of me taking a hard look at everything and pushing things in the right places, because I think what it is I just have misaligned expectations from like all the things that I'm doing.
I think what happens is like when you're self-employed or you're your own boss, I think time gets a little weird for you because you tend to run on your own time and schedule yourself out the way you need to. But the rest of the world still works like on a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of spectrum. So when you're still busy doing work and doing your things, people are having a day off or enjoying, whatever they're enjoying. So then their mentality comes back to Monday and like, oh shit, okay, we have deadlines. So, hey, Phil, were you able to do this? I mean, Fair enough. Not even thinking about that. You're thinking like, I never stopped working, but... I think the average person like will shut off for the weekends and stuff, but
That's true.
You're still working.
Actually.
So
Which I want to change this year. I want to make more time to like on purpose go to the beach. Like I have, but if I'm gonna do that, I have to put it in my calendar or I won't do it. I'll somehow allow something else to creep into my time. Keenan, you've been working on your business now for some time, right?
Yeah, but I don't have what Joe's having.
as far as what?
My weird time schedules, because it's too free. I still have plenty of free time.
Yeah, you have a lot of free time, but that's because you're probably not focusing incredibly on what your business is.
Like now that you've gotten
and-
started on this, how do you feel about your time management?
Yeah, because what's going to happen when you get 4 clients that all have,
Let's say 8
pretty
clients.
much, or 8 clients who all want kind of this, you get an order from 8 different people, and most of the deadlines fall on the same day.
I wouldn't schedule them to fall on the same day.
I know, but what if they happen to? Like, what if it's unavoidable? Like
would
you
make
have a
it-
guy, no, let me finish. Huh? What
Fuck
happens?
you.
What happens when you always do that to me?
No, I
dick?
don't. I just
You
talk.
say, Can you let me finish what I was saying?
I do not sound
Yes,
like that.
well, not like that, but you say that anyway. So what happens? What happens when? Jeez, man.
I didn't what? Continue.
So what happens when?
He literally
And it's
just
unavoidable.
did.
And
What?
And it's unavoidable. Let me finish. So what happens when you have 8 clients that happen to need the same sign or their project done around the same time?
I know where you're getting at. I would just say I would do my best to make sure that doesn't happen. Now, if on the miracle that it does,
it's
then
unavoidable.
Why?
I just said it. It's
But-
unavoidable.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they all have to happen at the same time, and it's not. It has nothing to do with you. It's because of their specific projects have deadlines, and they all need it at that same time.
Yeah.
So what happens then?
Either they all don't get done, or they get extended to the next day, or
But
something
they
like
can't. You can't. That's what I'm saying. It's unavoidable. The
Okay.
deadlines have to be that
Yeah.
time.
Then
so
I
what
would-
happens with your time?
that. No, it just gets used for that whatever time period.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't be up till 2 a.m. continuing to work. If I have to lose the client, I lose the client. But I'm not going to force myself into something that I didn't want to actually put on myself in the first place. So that's what I'm saying. I would try my best not to get into that situation. If that situation happens, either I lose the client or I spend the time necessary to make it to be done in time. And if it isn't done in time, then that's up to them.
That's up to them.
Yeah, like if they want to keep me as a business or not. Like I'm not gonna get on my hands and knees and beg them to continue my business or something like that. I understand where you're going from,
Yeah, no,
but
no,
my
no.
mindset is a little different.
You're not going to stress yourself out over something that clearly can't be avoided. I see what you're saying. If
Yes.
it's truly unavoidable, you're like, well,
Then it's an unavoidable.
it looks
scenario.
like we had a miscommunication. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you need a refund?
Yeah. And there has been times where I missed my deadline, and I asked for an extended period of time. And there has been times where the deadline came up, and it totally fumbled a project, but I was still able to negotiate a later deal.
I wonder how many like single moms out there have to manage their job, probably their education that they're extending, managing the family stuff, and still trying to stay in shape and eat right. And like, how many of them are also dealing with those exact same issues? In some way.
Same thing. Like
same problem, just different circumstances.
that they don't have time, but they still make the time.
People make the time.
They still make the time. I can tell you of a lot of women who I know who are single, and they're still managed to take care of their kids and take care of their careers. And
Shout out to the single
Take it.
mothers out there, man.
for sure on it, but even like fathers too.
That's true.
like,
That's true. It's something a lot of people don't talk about. The single fathers out there.
You get
all
the
the
big
single
piece of
fathers
chicken,
out there.
so it's all good.
who get the big piece of chicken.
Yep.
What? I don't understand. What was that? Is that a
Chris
phrase?
Rock.
Oh, I don't know. I don't recognize the reference. Sorry. Inside joke?
No, it's not.
I thought you seen that episode
Which
or
one?
that stand up.
Stand up.
It's the one where he was in Washington. No, not Washington. Bigger and Blacker.
You probably don't.
I don't remember.
It.
Okay, never mind. Moving on.
But yeah,
you guys are like 5 years older than me, right?
Yeah,
probably.
So, who cares? What about it? What's up? The times they are a changing.
It's not a huge gap.
Speaking of time management,
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, time is fucked up because still there are plenty of things that I don't do because I tell people that I don't have time to do. You know,
Yeah.
So it's weird because you really will find the time to do things you want to do, but in the same respect, there are sometimes things that you want to do that you don't have time for.
we're here for this, right? We don't have to be here.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, to be completely candid with you guys, like the whole minorities report thing, you know, the guys are still working. They're trying to do whatever they're doing, and they continue to tell me, hey, you know, come out such and such day, and they have a scheduled day. They have scheduled days where they actually go and record and do all their sessions and all that stuff. But for me, even though I can probably make it happen, I still don't put as much effort to do it because maybe there isn't enough as much interest to do it. And I know that their schedule, I can probably make it work, even though it's during my work schedule, which is already, it goes pretty rampant as is. But I don't do it. I don't make as much of an effort as I would to come see you guys and do this show, or, you know, go to a game, or, you know, watch a movie.
What are some methods that you do to manage your time?
He's like, I just wing it, my guy.
I completely wing my shit. I honestly do. Like, unless it's something that's work related, that's on its own schedule, where I know I have to abide by the schedule of work.
Unless it's on the calendar, yeah.
Everything else I do, I wing. Like I hardly ever plan. I mean, this is the only other scheduled thing that I ever do.
What happens if you do wing your work?
I can't wing my work.
So that's an unavoidable scenario.
Yeah, my work is unavoidable. It's scheduled. Like, events are scheduled. Events are going to happen with or without me. So I have to abide by the rules of the events. Like, I can't do a premiere on Hollywood and say, oh, sorry guys, we're not going to finish in time for the show. Like, no, that's ridiculous.
Has that happened before?
No, luckily it hasn't.
Knocking on wood is Joe. Because in that industry, that happens a lot though. People don't make certain schedules. Things get canceled day of.
It's never happened to me, which I should be pretty proud of if you're saying that it happens all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure if you ask anybody, as much as I've run into in the music or entertainment industry, you'll hear a bunch of stories. People on the crew, people on the construction, people on the builds, even the project managers will tell you plenty of stories of how certain timelines or schedules were supposed to happen and got completely wiped out.
Yeah, schedules usually get...
Well, I'm adding more to that. Not just schedules. Like the whole production. There's been productions that got canceled day of. You know what I mean? There's been people who've quit that were supposed to, continue working, and now you don't have a show going. There's artists who would change out at the last minute. I remember seeing a documentary on the Power 97. I forgot the
97.
New York Power 106 version of in New York.
105.1?
I think that's
Power.
Hot 97.
Oh,
Sorry,
Hot 97.
Hot 97.
Power 105.1 is
Yeah. Hot 97, and they did this huge concert, and they were supposed to have this major artist there, and then someone said something rude to the artist during the show before they were about to go up, and they said, we're not going to do the show anymore. So they have to find another artist.
Well, yeah, that happens all the time. Losing crew happens all the time. Stuff like that happens. Even your schedule gets fucked up, but the day of show always happens. That's why the whole saying the show will go on. The show must go on. And it's almost, I mean, what happens a lot in our industry, and what's changed a lot too, is as far as safety is concerned, safety has become prime over a lot of things.
People have been dying pretty.
Yeah. So the saying the show must go on usually is true unless it has something to do with safety. Like and artists cancel all the time. I mean, Flogna, I was just at Flogna, Drake performed. He didn't like how people responded to him, so the
he
rest
just
of the show
bounced?
got canceled. Yeah.
So midway through the show, he just left.
Yeah.
Damn.
This just happened. But it has nothing to do with the production. The production still went. The show still happened.
So as an artist, I mean, is that like the top of the time rudeness? Because you two would never do that at a show, right?
I don't know. I don't know that I would or wouldn't. It depends on the circumstances, maybe.
Knowing me, if I'm not welcome, I usually don't give a fuck. I'll leave.
Really? Midway through show?
Oh yeah. Even if they paid me, I'd rather, just personally me, like knowing me, I'm too stubborn. I'd be like, what?
Yeah,
Fuck
I
this.
think if the people responded ill towards me, I'd probably cancel. I'd be like, "Fuck you guys! I'm out here doing
But
this
if
show."
I was in Drake's
Y'all
shoes
didn't
and I had all the
respond?
money and the fucking that I've got, and I could rest on my laurels and go into investments or whatever the fuck else, I'll be like, maybe my time is done. I'll be like, fuck it.
I wonder
No,
why
I think
Now I'm not saying that Drake's time is done. I'm saying if I had to consider my things.
Well, what happened in this specific situation is that the fans had expectations, which nobody promised them. You know, so they had these. This Camp Flogna,
Expectations?
yeah. Okay, so what happened is Camp Flogna had a mystery guest. It was going to be a mystery guest. Nobody knew who it was, and people just assumed that it was going to be like Frank Ocean, because Flogna is run by Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator's
So they're expecting some R&B artists, and that's the
Yeah.
that's the vibe of the show.
Well, they
R&B?
were expecting no. It's a hip hop culture show.
Okay, so it could be anyone.
So it could have been anyone, but the people, because of rumors and all this thing, thought it was going to be Frank Ocean. So people were expecting Frank Ocean, and then when Tyler finally, when it was time for the show, he did a variety show where he had a bunch of different artists come on as the guests. You know, that was the surprise, that there were going to be a bunch of different people coming on.
Okay.
Then when they got to Drake, people were already like tired. They were like, all right, we've seen a bunch of guests come on. Where's the guy that we expect?
Right.
You know, and he wasn't there. So everybody,
But I mean, they got
it just
Drake.
happened to be that
That's
it was
crazy.
Drake. You know,
That fucking sucks.
it happened to be that it was Drake at the point where people were already like, come on, what the fuck? And it's also because Drake kind of took extended time. You know, all the other artists were doing like 1 or 2 songs, 3 songs at the most. Drake got out there and he did like fucking 8 songs, and
Like he
everybody
was headlining and
"All
shit,
right,"
like-
Okay.
you know, so people were like, okay, keep it pushing. Let's go to the next artist. Or, you know, where's Frank? And-
Drake turned it into a Drake concert.
yeah,
instead?
it pretty much became a Drake concert. But no fault of his own, because Tyler wanted him to be
The headline
there longer. Yeah,
So
he
Tyler
wanted him.
miscalculated and allowed.
Tyler legit sat in front of the stage to watch Drake. It's his festival.
Right.
Yeah,
He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So he literally sat in front of the stage to watch Drake perform, and he gave him X amount of songs. It was probably more than all the other artists.
So he's clearly a fan,
Yeah,
and then
he's a
everybody
fan of
else
Drake. He
fucking,
likes Drake.
everybody else was
He-
like, boo.
He thought people were going to respond to Drake the same way that he
And
responds.
instead,
you know?
it went completely.
And instead,
opposite.
people were like, what the fuck? Or next guest, or where's Frank? You know, we want Frank. That was like,
Can you imagine what was going through? I mean, forget
Tyler's
Drake,
head?
it's obvious, but yeah, Tyler, the creator, is probably like, what
he
the
was
fuck?
embarrassed as shit. Like he even went on Twitter or some shit and was like, y'all are ungrateful. Like, I brought him as my special guest,
Which is
you
true. I
because
mean, it's
love
Drake,
him.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I love him. He
It's not
was
like
my
Drake is
special
nobody,
guest.
you know?
Well, I
Yeah,
thought he'd
he-
be super popular. I thought Drake was so popular that he
I
could
mean,
just
he is,
pop up anywhere.
and
be
it
like,
wasn't everyone that booed him.
Oh,
off.
okay, yeah.
It was a specific little cluster of people.
The
but
Frank
they
Ocean
happen
fans,
to be
yeah.
no. The thing is that they happen to be center stage behind Tyler the Creator. So all Tyler hears is people saying, "Fuck Drake, we want Frank," and he's like, "Fuck." But that's all he's hearing, you know, because it's centered.
Interesting.
Everybody else was loving it. No, people love Drake.
Okay.
You know, it was
Yeah.
the majority of the people were loving it, but because of a group that happened to be center stage behind Tyler in front of Drake, you know,
The way we were for the Sir concert? When we went to the Sir-
everyone
yeah,
else was
yeah.
kind of like, you know, they canceled the show.
Remember when we went to the Sir
What
concert?
happened with Sir concert?
Well, you were a little high that day, but no.
I was drunk.
I was
Total difference,
just
Billy.
I was
You were a
just
little
pointing
high,
out.
too.
I just Oh, I did
You
smoke.
smoked. What are you talking about? You smoked.
I did. Yes.
What are you talking about? You smoked.
I did. Yes. That was a good
That's
night.
so funny.
Sorry, guys. I was high.
Hey, speaking of that, so it was reminding me of after the end of that show, we went to go eat some tacos and everything, right? After the Sir concert, we went to go eat tacos.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
At the yes.
Just
Philly,
make
I
sure,
remember
right? So then that reminds me of what happened to me literally 2 days ago. I went to go get some tacos right down the street from where I stay, and there was this dude that came up. He had weird energy about him. I couldn't tell why, right? But he looked like super Latino, but he spoke like English as American as it can get. I was like, oh, that's a shock. I was like, damn, even I'm racist. I was like, fuck. I was just caught off guard, and I was like, all right. But there was a weird energy. I was like, what the fuck?
Uh-huh.
So I was like, he order some tacos, gets a sangria, soda or whatever. And he goes to stand like on the other side of the sidewalk, and then they call his order, and he has to step over a little curb because he stepped onto it when he was waiting. And as he's walking off, like he makes it off successfully, but as he's walking off, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, he literally just tumbles forward like he tripped over his own fucking balance and lands face first onto the glass bottle of the soda and like on the concrete, just blah. And everyone who was eating tacos was like, what the fuck? And the guy was holding the order out like, what just happened? Dude was that drunk. And he gets up, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, shit. And so guy's like, let me get you some paper towels. And I was standing close to the paper towels. So I grabbed paper, like a shitload of them, and hand them to the guy. And then while he's giving him those, I grab more and walk over to give it to him too. And I guess he was getting rid of the other ones that the guy gave him. And he looks me dead in the eye, and he's like refusing to accept the paper towels. And then he looks down, and like, I guess it took him a second to register that he just fell, that people are trying to help him. And I was like, this dude is fucking like
fucked up.
like I went to Tijuana and I'm drunk. Like, I was like, what the fuck, man? And there's all this broken glass still on the floor, and he's
his
like,
face was all bloody and shit.
no, dude, ended up just fine. But have you ever heard a body just hit the floor, dude?
Yeah.
That was like, whoa. And he landed on that shit. And I just gave him the paper towels and said, all right, well, good night, man. I just went on my way, and I was like, what the fuck, man?
That's crazy.
I know it seems unconnected,
sure
but
Did
for
we
me,
just segue to a different story?
yeah, well, I was just
talking-
sharing something with you that happened to me recently, man.
Oh, okay. I was still on the whole concert thing and people booing.
Right, and then
Drake.
we talked about the Sir concert.
The
And
Sir
then I was like,
concert.
remember we went to go eat tacos afterwards? Because as we were talking about the concert, the memories came back to me.
Oh, that. Oh, okay. I thought something happened at the Sir concert. That was like, holy shit! What happened at the Sir concert?
No.
Okay.
And so, I mean, to me, that's a trip because it's been a long time since I've seen someone that drunk make so many mistakes. Like, and it was just one, but it was a whole collision effect.
It was a whole event.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was driving. That's the worst part. Like, I saw him get out of a car, so in my head, I'm like,
That's not good.
I don't know where people get off being that drunk and like thinking like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, wow, it was bad.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we've been that drunk at some point, somewhere.
I don't think I ever fell over my own body and hit a bottle.
Yeah,
probably not. Oh,
I was like close to almost laughing, and then I realized that it was like it was dangerous because the hardest part was him getting off that curb. But he made that successfully. But it was shortly after that he took the next step as if he was going upstairs or something and just totally fell over his shit.
Anybody else laugh?
He probably
No.
woke up like feeling
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah. Can you imagine waking up after a night like that? Like, he's probably like, what the fuck? Get the teacher.
Has that happened before? I never woke up with pains.
You've never woken up with pains
No,
from a drunken night?
no, but that. I mean, in my mind, I was like, that might be kind of cool just to hear what the story of it happened.
What
Like
did I do?
I'm sure.
Like something wild
for
happened.
for sure. I've had like
Woken up.
blackout nights where I'm like, what?
Blackout nights
Well,
for
for
sure,
sure
but
it's
not
happened to
pain.
me.
But not waking up with pain all over
All my
body.
blackouts have been angry. Like that's a fact.
Remember that one time where you came and picked me up because I had fallen asleep in the lobby of a fucking apartment?
What?
Yeah, I went out to a party. I forgot what I was doing. I was probably out.
Yeah,
Doing
It was
all
a
Whiskey
wild
Joe.
time. This is
That was
way
Whiskey
back.
Joe.
Yeah,
I was Whiskey Joeing
This
for
is
sure.
way back.
And I ended up at some building. I don't know. The building was like in West LA or Palms in the Palms
yeah, in
area.
the Palms area, like over. Like
I
Culver
wake
City.
up on like in their lobby of the building, and I have like the floor mat like covering me. I wake up. I'm like,
You need
where
a
the
blanket.
fuck am I? I was like looking around. I had no idea where I was.
Nobody in
Like,
the
I
apartment
didn't-
said anything.
I didn't know anybody at that apartment building. Like,
was just-
I don't.
he
I
was
have
just
zero
inside.
idea how I got to that inside the apartment building.
Inside the apartment, in the
I was
lobby of the
in the
apartment.
lobby,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
knew no one who lived there. And I wake up, I have like a floor mat covering me as a blanket. I'm like, where the fuck am I? What the
Oh my
fuck
God.
happened? And then I call Phil, and I'm like, Phil, and this is prior to our new age fucking
Cell phones.
cell phones
Oh,
and
that's
everything.
right, dude.
So
Damn,
it's
that
not
was
like
a
I
long
could be
time
like,
ago.
it's not like I was able to be like, oh, just Google me.
No
I'm a pin
smartphone.
drop.
Yeah.
I'm a pin drop where I'm at. It wasn't. This was like 2007, 2008. So that still was like right on the cusp.
That's
It
so
was
funny,
like,
dude. I haven't thought about that forever.
yeah. And I call him like, dude, I'm on such and such and such and such. I
He
don't.
was like,
I was like,
I
I
don't know
don't.
what happened.
I think I'm by the freeway, dude. I don't know where the fuck I am. And Philly's like, all right, just hold on, let me look it up. And it was just funny. It was a
Are we
funny
able
situation.
to discuss about a Vegas moment you had where you might or might not have blacked out, but that is actually recorded? Like there's
you
a
have
picture.
you have footage of Joe in Vegas.
Well, there's a footage
That can't
was-
be good.
It was posted on Instagram, Facebook. So before Instagram existed, I saw this on Facebook. And it was
Why would you ask if you're able to? Like, you have to know those dimensions yourself.
well, I don't know. I just wanted to make sure I get clarification on this moment too, because I feel like that also was another moment, but I'm not quite sure where it involved like an alleyway and
was
like
he like pissing? Because Joe's almost peed in the fridge. I mean, the things that Joe has done while not knowing that he's doing them is like hilarious to me. Because it's never like bad shit. It's just always funny. Like Joe could have been that guy at the taco truck.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah.
I could have been that guy. Yeah.
yeah.
I could have been that guy.
I'm always like super angry if I'm drunk, and I'm always like leaving a party for no reason. Like somebody didn't laugh at a joke. I'm like, fuck this party. And I'll like walk all the way back home or something. You know?
So what Vegas experience is this that you're talking about?
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a picture of you laying down in an alley, and somebody had to take the camera because it was like a flash photography, so everything was like super brightly lit. So somebody definitely took a picture of you. It may not even be Vegas. It might have been here in Los Angeles.
I know what you're talking about, and that wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh.
I think it was Tweaks who posted that.
It
He
might have been
posted the
Tweaks.
picture, and he's like, "Oh, why does this look like you?"
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't me though.
Oh.
It wasn't me.
Somebody
Damn.
sent me something like that the other day. My buddy Joseph sent me a picture of like he follows his account like 80s. I grew
It
up
was
in the
on
80s
Facebook.
or whatever.
Facebook. Yeah, it was Facebook.
Yeah. And it was like a dude with like his arm over his eyes, right? But it was like some 80s pose. And he was like, look at this. He told me, he said, look at this James Dean wannabe motherfucker. He thought it was me for a second. He sent it to me. He's like, yo, is this you? I was like, first of all,
First of all, I'm not even out there anymore.
you know what I mean?
Well, I was never
but I was
really-
like, second of all, that really does look like me.
I never really was a part of your escapades back in the day. So I would take it seriously if I see a photo.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it.
You're like, oh my God, Joe,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I thought it'd be a great album cover.
Oh, me passed out drunk on the floor?
Yeah.
No, definitely not. That's not going to be an album cover.
Is it a stand-up comedy album cover?
But I'm trying to think of a good title for it. It'd be, sexual, sensual.
This was all during the time you were out in San Francisco, right, Kenan?
But I did come back.
Man, those are some good times before you
Those
got
are some
here.
Good times, buddy. I'll tell you what.
I did come back a couple times
You
during
did.
my spring break to hang out with Joe
You did.
and summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would come out once
I
in a
came to
while,
the
just
Sharon.
Hang out, yeah.
I mean, people don't even like, if you're listening to this podcast, like you're hearing like bits and pieces of what I literally became an adult in. Joe laughs, but he's like, hey.
So you don't regret having Philly grown up in that
Nah,
kind
dude,
of
look how I
environment?
turned out.
Look at him. He's kick ass, man.
I turned out dope as fuck.
You got all the bitches. What are you talking about?
Do you think your son would ever follow in the same pathway or
Nah,
line?
I don't think so.
Joe's like, my son ain't touching none of this shit.
I mean, he can if he wants.
Well, I
don't know
mean,
if
sometimes if
everybody-
you're an overprotective parent, they'll go completely opposite, and
That's a fact.
they'll do it like 10 times worse than you did.
That's a fact.
We had like the complete opposite. We had all the freedom we could possibly have.
It's a mix-up. Not every family or person who grows up in that sort of situation will turn out.
I'm molding Gavin to be a professional gamer, so I'm hoping he takes that.
Do you think that would be a full-on industry? Not industry as we know it today, but I mean like it is now as the same equivalency as the Super Bowl. You have people doing fantasy teams on them. They're doing like sports game stuff at like you'll go to the grocery store and instead of seeing a football mat where their beer is all set up, it's now
you see Ninja.
Yeah, or it's like a League of Legends mat or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll get that heavy where it's gone beyond where it is?
I think so. I think it's going to go way beyond what it currently is. I think it's going to grow into a super profitable industry. I mean, look, there's very little overhead. If you think about it, like they don't have to build arenas. Arenas are already built, convention centers and stadiums, and so you're not building anything new technically. The only thing that you're developing is the actual video games,
right? And
it's not even the sport that's developing the video games. It's like actual video game companies. They're doing it because it's already an industry that they work in. And
the people that push it are the gamers itself. They don't really need to advertise
exactly
or promote.
Very little advertising needed.
It's kind of like a great example of multi-level marketing in a nice legal way, where you get a game like The Fallen Order and go, Cianan, this shit's awesome. And all of a sudden I'm like, really? It is awesome? Here, try this game out, You send it to me or I get access to it through your system.
But I don't benefit any from it.
You don't. That's the whole thing about multi-level marketing is that you do get a private. And you're supposed to.
So this would be like word of mouth.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
This is more grassroots.
Now, would you like it if you got like a little off the cuff, if you referred me the Fallen Order and then I bought it and you got like maybe
affiliate marketing?
No, I don't. I really wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care?
I wouldn't care for something like that. Because then it becomes a problem because
you have to
think that they could capitalize on that and they're going to push like the dumbest shit ever because X publisher is telling them, oh, if you push my game, I'll give you a little extra money even though this game sucks. Like, no, I don't like that idea. I'm not big on that.
Yeah. I mean, I knew something was going to be interesting with the e-gaming back in 2013 when Tony Robbins started talking about that shit. Like Tony Robbins, he's like a motivational speaker, and then he was already talking. Was it 2000? No, that's too far back. Like 2015, something like that. 2015, he started talking about how him and it might have been Peter Diamandis and a few other people were already looking into like investing into esports, and I was like, esports, the fuck is that?
He wants to invest in esports.
No, they did.
Oh, they did.
Created like companies.
He's part. Shit. Yeah, he has an esport team. I can't remember, and he's partnered with other people. And also, what's his name? Tony Robbins, I think, also is part owner of LAFC.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
But Rick Fox has or he just recently sold his esport team.
No way.
Yeah, he used to be with the LA Lakers.
Dude, Rick Fox married one of the babes I like the most, man. Eliza Dushku, man.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Rick Fox?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is she still acting?
She's like a Boston babe too.
Eliza.
It would never work out though because she's into sports. I don't. I'm not a.
Well, that's not
a make or break either.
Yeah, man, it's got to be because they're gonna want to go to the games. And honestly, for me, I'd be like, I'd rather do anything else.
Is it worth it to stay with somebody that, like, say for instance, Philly did meet her and she was in the Philly and they connected and they start going out and she wants to constantly go out to these sports games, but he doesn't. Should he still stay in that relationship?
I mean, look, I've heard many opinions. In fact, I've had people say, no, it's perfect that you guys don't like the same things, and you can have your thing that you do, like apart from the relationship.
And you can't do everything together, right?
No, I'm not trying to do everything together. Yeah. But like, I'm also just not trying to go to a game.
No, I understand. That's just my hypothetical.
Just like fuck you, man.
as a question to you both for like the sexcapades and being in relationships and hooking up and all that stuff, as like your thoughts and opinions on if some guy or girl should be around or stay around with somebody who they have this one particular interest.
No, I think,
that's what they're all about.
I think nothing makes or breaks a relationship, and excuse me, and I think I think people can have like completely different interests and still be together.
Because I've heard stories and been around people where religion comes into play. If you're not, they can have everything else that they agree upon, but if the religion isn't right, we got to break it off. Even when I see on
that's, I think that's a little different because it's faith as opposed to like an interest. I think faith is.
So I'm talking about two separate things.
Yeah, I think when it comes to faith, that can make or break a relationship for sure. Because a lot of times with faith, it's not just you, it's also your community. And I'll give you a perfect example. The Jehovah's Witness religion, they basically tell you that that you can't really date anyone. Now, they don't forbid you to date anyone outside of the religion, but it's frowned upon.
Isn't that the same as Scientology, right, Phil? They said you can't mess with anybody outside. Yeah.
Now, there's, like I said, they're not saying don't do it and it's banned. And it's forbidden. It's just frowned upon because the day you decide that you want to, get baptized and take further steps into the religion, you kind of you have to separate yourself from the world, and it's harder when your spouse is still of the world, which is what they call it. So faith is very different than an interest or a hobby.
What is it
that can definitely make or break a relationship?
Super segue, but what is it that you do believe in?
Myself. I've always said this.
Well, I know you say you're atheist,
closest to like Satanism, but
yeah,
straight
which
up.
I'm fine too. I fuck with Satan. Yeah.
Well, I just meant the moralities and stuff you come across in life is sort of like.
Wait, let me just clarify. I don't really fuck with Satan because I'd have to believe in Satan in order to fuck with him.
And then you can't. Yeah. So yeah.
So if I believe in Satan, I have to believe in a God. So
that is technically
I don't fuck
true.
with Satan. Just so everybody's clear.
Everybody's like, it's shocking news and shit.
I fuck with the ideas though.
Everybody starts like texting each other. Oh my God, Joe fucks with Satan. And then the Satan from South Park comes in. Hey, Joe.
Hey, what's up? And we're homies. We're gamers.
And Saddam Hussein is there.
I know. Somehow Saddam is there. And Hitler too. He came back. They all came back.
And Joe's like, yeah, I was just fucking
Satan
kidding,
brought him
man.
through.
I didn't actually believe in you
They're
guys.
actually really nice guys, they did a couple of things. Ooh, but,
repented for their
overall,
sins. They said a couple of Hail Marys.
Yeah, I mean they're good, right? Do you think
sacrilegiousness?
Do you think right before Hitler died, he was like, "Fuck everything I've done"?
Or
do you think I'm pretty sure he's dead by now. He has to be dead.
It would be what almost like pushing 100.
He'd probably be 100 because he was what 30 in 1940s.
Something like that.
Yeah, he was probably around his 30s in 1940,
Yeah.
43.
Oh yeah, so he's definitely dead. Unless they did, those crazy German experiments.
Nah, that motherfucker dead.
Do you think he was actually killed in World War II?
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't say for sure.
There's a huge amount of documentation of a lot of German hierarchy. Argentina setting a shot there. If you go to there,
that's a fact. That did happen. People,
Yeah. But there's a tape or a recorded tape of a broadcast by the Russians who showed up there saying, this doesn't look like him.
Weren't they still doing Morse code back then? Like, did they have tape record? What was that? That's the 50s?
They had broadcasts.
Yeah,
They had broadcasts.
yeah.
Yeah, they had radio and color film and stuff like
now
that.
you're saying they had somebody go over there and say, "Yo, this isn't him."
Well, if my memory serves me correct, which means now we're counting on my memory, is that
Which is pretty.
but is that the Russians showed up first to his bunker, and then they broadcasted, I believe they broadcasted saying back to their headquarters that this doesn't look like the Hitler we think he looked. He looks similar, and this could be him, but we're not sure if it really is.
That's usually what I tell girls when they see, look, you're here with this bitch. Who is she? I'm like, look, that could be me. But I mean, I don't know if it really is.
You can't even believe Philly when he tries to say some trifling shit. It's just
I know
it's not in his nature to be.
He's trying to subdue my seriousness about World War II.
You know
it's
what?
okay.
No, you know what? That actually pisses me off. The idea that like I could imagine because I have assumed and imagined this before.
That you've been
That-
trifling?
No, that I am essentially reliable to such a fault that anyone who really is with me, like if they're with me, they're never even fucking even 1 ounce of them is concerned, like, oh, I might be out there doing something else.
Wait, what? So no one that you've been with suspected you of being.
As far as I know, no, it's too easy to know what I'm doing. I'm working.
Well, nowadays,
and like I really am.
Was
and
it
I
like-
really am.
was like that always, like since the get go.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, obviously, it was like I clearly wasn't working. I mean, I had a fucking job, but like I wasn't working like I'm working now.
Right, but now obviously, so women
Yeah,
back
as in,
then
like-
maybe, but now they would never.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have girlfriends like that though. I was.
No.
Wait, so what were you like back?
I
in
think
the
you've
day?
had like in the last.
I've had like 3 in my
in the last 10 years, he's
Yeah.
probably had like 3 or 4 girlfriends.
And now we're talking like
Yeah.
serious girlfriends, like
yeah.
year or
I've
two?
really
Girls
only
that
had-
were like,
that's my girlfriend.
Like, that's my
Yeah,
I've had like
We're in a
3, yeah.
relationship.
yeah.
and
Let's see, there was.
don't
I'm kidding.
you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, I don't care about that anymore. I moved on. Philly's teaching me to learn how to forgive and forget
No, I'm just
and
saying
move on to the next
that
segment.
can't be good. That I'm so fucking dependable that like they're like nah.
Why can't that be good?
What you
Because-
want them to be?
Yeah, they need to be on their edge so they fucking try, man. Fuck that.
That's right, women. You heard it first from Philly. You need to work on it.
Trust him. Work on not trusting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay on edge.
Make sure you're on your game so he can be on his.
Fuck it,
that.
Billy. You should just cheat in all your relationships now so that they can start believing.
I'm gonna have to, man. It's the only strategic move. It's the only strategic move.
Well,
You just need to be a dog.
That's what
That's
it
what you
is.
need to do.
That's what it is, man. I need to stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, Philly is a dog
You-
now.
like girls say
Starting right
Not
now,
before.
he's a dog.
Yeah.
girls say they want that thing that they want, and then like I really am that. I may not be tall, but I really can be that thing. And then that they don't really want it, man. They don't really want it. I mean,
Now,
no.
do you have an insecurity about your height?
No, not necessarily. It's just
you mentioned your height
know,
to me
he always
many
mentions
times.
it.
only
He always mentions it.
only because when you're on Bumble and Tinder, the shit that you see on there, like 90% of them are like, if you're not 6'9", swipe left. Legit.
And there was one I recently saw close to something like that, but it was this is what I was getting the example of religion back in our previous statements, was that I saw somebody on there was like, if you're not, with God, just swipe, yeah.
Those bitches ain't with God now. I have no way either. Like, fuck them.
There are the
There's a lot of them.
I'm so glad I've never had to use any of those, like, just because I'm old school, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about like any of that.
and the
shit.
only reason I'm even on there is because I know I'm not going to take my ass to a bar and like be at a singles bar like, hey, and then I'm going to buy a girl a drink.
How
which
often does that service work for you?
Never. It never has.
What, Bumble?
You've never
I've-
like been on a.
I've maybe
Tinder
gone
date
on.
or
No, I've
something?
maybe met up twice with a girl from there before, and each time I was like,
It's no big thing, Philly. I mean, I haven't got any hits either, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
whatever.
then there must be something wrong with the system.
No,
for
but
sure.
I know-
for sure.
I've met dudes who like that shit just flows.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got-
pretty
I got
easily.
boys that
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, you know what?
but see, they're trash. Those guys are trash.
But they
So
still
for
get
sure
it though,
works.
and that's the problem. They
No, that's
still
what I'm
get
saying.
it.
They're
Yeah.
trash motherfuckers. Like
Yeah.
they're trifling motherfuckers.
Mhm.
Like, and it works for them, which is cool. But I'm sure it works for some people. Like, but
Maybe, but I feel like you can't complain if you're going after that and you're seeing those guys and meeting those kind of guys, and then still writing up something about you want to meet a nice man or meet someone like Philly.
I want
That's
a
super
God-fearing man.
That's super hypocritical.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about Bumble is the transition that you see, because
I'm trying to
feel
get you
like-
guys to say that I'm perfect. You know,
Well, I know.
I'm gearing you guys up for it.
The thing I noticed about Bumble is the transition of information, in the sense of what we stereotypize, how we stereotype each other about men and women, and how men are supposed to be requesting all these specific things, and they want certain things like you were saying about yourself for women. But with Bumble, because they're supposed to make the first move, right? Am I
Oh,
this
yeah.
correct?
If you make a match on Bumble, the girls have to be the
Make the
ones
first-
that send the first message.
So a lot of times, I don't know how they know this or not know this, but a lot of those messages, just to go back to Philly's statement again, was that a lot of them do say, if you don't meet this certain criteria, some of them are longer. They may not just be list of height or religion. It could be a whole bunch of things in all caps, saying if you're this kind of dude, don't even bother or anything like
And you
that.
know
And
what's
it's like,
funny is that in particular Bumble has so many filters you can add so that you just don't run into that type of person. But I guess they're just not smart enough to see it.
and that's and that's the crazy thing, because it's to me, I find it super unfair that you have all this criteria. If you make the statement that you should be open to other people's ideas and not look at them like, what's that terminology? Judging a book by its cover. Yeah,
But that's kind of what it is.
That's what it
ideally,
is.
yeah. But it's funny that you would still do that and then have this. What I'm saying is that you should be kind of more open on these platforms instead of being more restrictive on these platforms. That's sort
what
of
you're saying.
my feeling, because it feels unfair that you're being super restrictive.
I wonder how well I'd do if I like.
Let's Joe get like
on.
80 hits.
Have you
like,
seen Hannibal Buress and what's that dude? Andre he had that show.
Eric Andre?
Eric Andre, yeah. They had a YouTube video where they both exchange each other's phones to be on each other's accounts, and they would just send the craziest shit to girls. And like girls were, but obviously it's Hannibal Buress and Eric Andre, so that's not fair. You know what I mean? But yeah, you'd probably do great, man.
Wasn't Eric Andre like dating Rosario Dawson or someone?
Was he? That's badass.
Yeah, he was up there.
But she's dating Booker now, right?
Oh, Booker T.
No, what's his name? The senator.
Oh,
No, not Booker. I can't remember his name. She's dating a senator now.
yeah.
Oh, is that why she got into politics?
Yeah,
Because she's not doing film anymore.
Oh, she is.
She is?
She's on a show. She has a show.
A TV show?
Yeah, she has a
Oh,
TV show.
Believe
on
me,
USA
Joe
called
keeps
Bear
tabs on
Patch.
Rosario Dawson.
Bruh.
So you
Play
must have loved Alexander then, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Here's one. When you are with a significant other, are there certain things like if suddenly a girl that you've been with for a long time, suddenly looks at you and she's just like, yeah, bruh, like leave me or she'll just like talk to you like as if you're just one of her homies, like specifically like one of her homies, like yo, bruh, like move or something, like just like, or bruh, did you see this? Things like that. Do you like that? Or does it not matter to you at all? Is it completely insignificant?
I don't care. Like, I really don't. I call females bro and dude all the time. Like, I call females that, like, I call females dude. Like, so I don't care if they call me dude. Like,
But in the
Okay.
relationship, you don't.
Okay,
like
I
it.
don't, nah, just
Oh.
in general. Like,
I haven't had that experience. So
I don't.
Yeah, you never had something like your girl could be like, dude, like chill or something. No.
Nope.
I speak to females like I would speak to a dude. Same way.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't treat 'em any
same way.
different,
I
huh?
don't treat them. I don't treat.
Is that
females
the
any
secret?
different. Like,
So you pat them on the ass like you pat mine?
yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't go that far. But
Damn.
I treat females how I treat dudes. I like the homie. Like,
Yeah.
I'll literally like if I'm talking to a female friend of mine, I'd be like, "Yo, what up, dude?" Like,
I guess
Lame.
it's true what my cousin Angel told me. My cousin Angel told me, nobody on the podcast, if you're listening, you don't know him. But my cousin Angel told me, dude, you see, your problem is you're putting the pussy on the pedestal. He told me that shit.
Do you think Philly is, when all of our conversations on this podcast?
I don't
since
think
the
he puts
get-go?
the pussy on the pedestal.
I don't think I do
think-
either, but I
but I think he
definitely
puts
take,
himself?
I go out of my way.
I think he limits himself.
Oh.
I think he limits himself. It's not about him putting the pussy on the pedestal. I think he just limits himself. Like, I have no idea why Philly does the shit he does to himself. Like, it's beyond me. It's beyond me. Like, there is zero reason why Philly should like restrict himself at all. Like, and I've even told him just to lower your standards a smidgen, and you could probably have all the bitches in the world. Like, if you were just like loosen up a little, baby, come on, you'd probably be.
But see, Philly
so
doesn't want
successful with
bitches.
women.
He wants women.
He can't know what he wants if he doesn't have it.
Well,
any
see,
of it.
The
Like,
thing, I had a conversation with Philly not too long ago about a correction on the podcast we had last week with Siphon, in the sense of love and are you ready for love? And I was telling Philly that I feel like he's trying to chase or get love like it's something you can get off a bookshelf or something at a grocery store. Like, it's not tangible. It's not a physical entity that you can just go, okay, I want that now, so I'm gonna grab it.
That's a very good way of putting it. For sure.
It was kind of an agreement on yours, but I couldn't articulate it enough during that episode.
Yeah, but that's pretty much like you're not going to be able to get it off the bookshelf.
And I feel like the same way of that search for love, it's kind of for a lot of other things in life too, financially, spiritually, all this stuff. Well, maybe financially is kind of actually physical, but the methodology you go about searching for women and love and what you want in your life is kind of universal for a lot of other things too.
You remind me of Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 500 Days of Summer.
Well, I didn't see that movie.
Interesting.
Wait, what do I remind you of? He's gonna say some stuff like that. Go ahead. I'll even give you time to think about it too.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to say it.
I remember that movie, and I remember thinking, I don't know if that's me, but I think I've been there before for sure. I for sure have been there before, but as of late, I've actually been I've been a little intolerant of people in general.
Well, you're Joseph Gordon-Levitt when she leaves him.
Oh.
Like, oh, fuck everything. I don't care about everything. Everything sucks. Why would she leave me? Fuck her. Fuck women in general. Just fuck it all. I don't care. Until you meet another girl that you like.
I'm in love. Oh, I love women. Everything about her I love. I want to spend the rest of my life.
I've actually been approaching it like I never have before. When I do go and meet up with someone and go get something to eat with them, or have a coffee or watch a movie or whatever, I'm beginning to pay really close attention to things that I used to let slide, and determine, like, because I would notice it, but it'd be like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, for example, as a guy, I never used to care what a girl does for a living, like whether she works at McDonald's or she's the fucking CEO of a company. I never cared. For me, it was like, I've always looked for a friend and a lover. Okay. I've always looked for a friend and a lover. That was all that I required, was that they would be good friends with me. Like, I wanted a companion. That's all. That was the minimum that someone could give me, right? But I started noticing that, like, there's some patterns. Like, if we go out and they literally can't buy the food that we're about to eat, that's not a good start.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like, for me, most people in general should be able to take care of themselves before they even hook up at all. As a matter of fact, I like to put on a new bill that you're not allowed to get married till like after 35. You got to make sure that stupid. I'm just making it up. But you have to know there has to be some sort of tangency, so you can take care of yourself.
Some sort of what?
Tangency? Is that a real word? Can I use that?
Sure. Go for it, buddy.
Can I use that? Can I buy a vowel?
I'm like, what?
She was like, wait, what did you just say?
Continue.
There needs to be something in place so that
we're gonna make a new bill. You need to know how to speak before you fall in love.
Hey, I could be president today.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
True. Run. Lies. All lies.
But what I'm trying to get to is that as I'm noticing more these days, is that there's lots of people that can't hold their own on their own. When they're in a relationship, they're depending on that other person to do a lot of the basic stuff. Now I'm talking about super basic, the basic of, like, cleaning stuff up around the house, dishes, trash, all that stuff. I'm it's more so than what Philly's talking about, than just your finances and stuff, but that too as well. Like, it makes me question, how could you live on your own if you weren't in that relationship? That should be a question that is presented, especially at some point, if there is a moment where Philly is feeling where it's like, you let the other person know, like, this, how is this working out? If I wasn't here, would you still be able to support yourself, live on your own, stuff like that? Because if you're going to be feeling like they're sucking you dry, that's going to ruin what you already know how to take care of yourself at, and you're bringing yourself already out of it, which really, really sucks. And something like that should happen more often. I know it doesn't, but something implemented, where it kind of enforces it on people, because I don't feel like a lot of people have that drive, energy, or determination anymore. I feel like it has to be enforced somehow instead of just the free will of the people.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, but I think at the same time I do. What I'm saying is I hear you about, because like the free will of the people. I'm trying to figure out what like, but at the same time, I think what I heard you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm less about ousting you and just making sure I understood what you're saying. Basically, that people should have the basics down, including cleaning up at home, but also being able to take care of their own fucking bills, so that they don't become a drain on you.
Yeah, but most people can't do that. Most people have to be forced to do it,
right?
Or they won't.
Right.
Most people have to be forced to do it.
Not everybody, but a good amount. I mean, you talk about the people that you've seen, like sleeping on other people's couches and stuff like that.
When did I say that?
You said it like a couple episodes ago.
About sleeping on other people's couches?
Well, I forgot what the topic was about, but I think that was what one of your examples were. I forgot the topic what it was on. It wasn't on homelessness or anything like that. But it was leading to like mooching or smooching.
To agree with you for sure, I do believe that somebody should definitely be able to 100% live their life stably, like fiscally and like, you know, hygienically. They should have that under control. Like basic adult shit. They should definitely have that.
Can move into a relationship.
Yeah, definitely agree with you.
And when I say move into, I don't mean like actually move into.
Right, that's like a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, one thing, me in particular, that because I went on a date the other day, and there was mention of like how even though they have zero desire to be in conversation and have a friendship with the ex before their recent ex, right? Like that, she brought it up casually that they still reach out to complain about how they don't like the current relationship they're in. And like, even though she doesn't want to hear from him, she still will pick up the call and be like, yeah, I know. And so for me, it's like, I'm confused here. So you don't want to talk to this person, but you allow them to have access to you. Why? In my head, right? And for me, that's like a thing. I'm like, I don't know. Because I tried to do that. I tried to be cool with an ex, but then I also fucked up because when I ran into that person with the new person I was with, who I wasn't sure about yet, all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to do here. And I realized that, I mean, apart from, because the way we started to become friends again, yeah, she would straight up tell me she was with someone or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. Right. Fair enough. But for whatever reason, my big concern was like, I don't want this new person that I'm with to think that just because we ran into this ex that I, you know, clearly I'm like, I'm not trying to make some shit happen with, but the fact that they're even going to be in this area now near where I live, I don't want it to be a problem. So I basically just ignored this person right where we were sitting and didn't even mention it. Like until way later at night, I was like, I can't go to sleep at night without having a discussion about this. So I brought it up to the person I was seeing at the time, and I was like, hey, you know, actually when we were at that restaurant, the whole time my ex was like right there, but I didn't know how to address this shit. Like, honestly, I don't know why. I thought I'd be better prepared, but the truth is, would you have wanted to meet this person? And they thought about it for a second and said, no, they wouldn't have. And I was like, all right. But part of me is like, that's got to be a fucking lie. You know what I mean? Anyways, sure enough, the ex that had hit me up and they were like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, what? Did you stop feelings for me or what the fuck was that? Like, how could you like, or is the person that you're with right now not okay with you having friends? Like, that's a red flag you should be looking out for. And I don't know. I was like, clearly you're angry and I'm sorry. You know, I don't know what else to say. Right. But now that I'm on the other side and I'm like single, like, cause I also like, I made the effort to just block everyone I'd ever like considered a girlfriend. I know what you're thinking, but the truth is I need to clear that space, right? Like I truly don't see what value I could have in having a relationship with someone like that again. Like just even on any level, like if it didn't work, it didn't work. They never provided any actual, like, I don't see how outside of having a relationship that it would be valuable to have them in my life.
But didn't you just say that all the girls that you get with, you try to be friends with?
At first, yeah. At first. But once it transforms into something else, I've noticed that it can't be friends anymore.
So the friendship is gone.
Which is why I'd make such an effort to try to be friends first.
But why? If it's gonna be out the window anyway once you're in a relationship.
I know. I realize that now.
Yeah.
I realize that now that the minute it turns into something else, it can't just be friends.
Yeah.
It can't. And so that's what, knowing that, when I now know when I'm going out with someone, if they're still talking to an ex, I personally for me, and a lot of people will probably disagree, I personally don't think that's a good direction to move in. Because if they're able to do that, fine, but I don't know what that looks like.
And that's your prerogative.
Yeah, it's my prerogative.
That's the other person's prerogative as well. They can be friends with whoever they want.
Because like that's complicated, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just sharing shit, but you guys are like,
how do you feel about
that?
If you're with someone and they're still talking to their ex. Or their ex before their ex.
Oh, I haven't experienced that, so all I know is what I see.
Gotcha.
So what I see is
y'all a bunch of bitches.
See, a pimp's love is different from a square's love.
No, what do you see?
I see too many different dualities in people. They're never going to be the same. So what I notice is that a few people who can't really handle being friends with their ex should really just call it quits, because they will bring it up in conversations where you're not even with them romantically, and they'll bring it up and you kind of do a roll in the back of your head, of your eyes and
like
stuff
an
like that.
Roll. Like a mind roll.
Yeah. And it clearly shows that they still have some sort of feelings or they're not fully resolved. But then again, I have met people who have been friends with their ex for years, even with multiple new people. So I am neutral on a lot of things. And that's one of them, because of what I see. Now, as far as personal experience, my ex already sort of ousted me out with any kind of communication, and we would only occasionally, I think within the last 3-4 years, we may have spoken twice and then saw each other once at a random spot, and it was just an exchange of hellos, and that was pretty much it. So
no, you're saying she ousted you, like she cut you off?
Yeah, in the sense of no effort to communicate. Okay. So oust not in like I'm gonna delete you from everything, but more like I'm not gonna put any effort into communicating with you.
Okay.
Even though they said they wanted to be still friends, and I have no idea what that means, because friends for me is like you go to the movies, you watch, something, you hang out, you shoot the shit, you talk to each other about what happened in politics, but there's been no communication within the past 3-4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think that it takes up a lot of mental real estate. What is it? That Jay-Z song? I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one, right? And like a lot of people, I guess there are 2, maybe 3 types of people, right? There are the people who are the type at which I think I'm one of those people that way. If something isn't positive anymore, then fuck you and I don't know you, and it's like immediate cutoff, right? And then there's other people who are able to manage their emotions in a way. I'm seemingly believing this, but I don't know how real that really can be. Where they're like, no, you know what? I can totally be in the same room and not give a fuck. And I'm one of those people that I believe that you never stop actually loving someone. You just find people you love more. Or, you know what I mean? I truly believe that. Like, you just learn to love other people more, but I don't think you ever stop loving. If you truly opened your heart to someone, I don't think that place is ever going to go away, personally speaking. You know what I mean? If you really you opened up and you were like, okay, I'm going to give you level 12 clearance. You know what I mean? That access can't be revoked.
Okay, because I was going to say no for myself, because I can shut people off pretty quickly and still not have any concern.
You'll never be able to shut me off.
I try to every fucking day, Joe.
So if you had a falling out with Joe, because I personally love you guys. So if you had a falling out with Joe or I, it would never be resolved ever again?
Oh,
we
no.
would never have a conversation.
I always
again?
have a falling out with you. You just don't notice it.
Kenny's like, we've broken up a lot of times, and I'm getting to the point where like I want to know where we're going with
I
this.
pretty much talk myself back into it. So, yeah.
He's like, this podcast episode alone, you don't know how many times I was ready. This is over.
You're be like, well, all right, we gotta replace Cianan.
Let's go through the list of the guests.
Go through the list of all the people.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on my list.
He busts out the list.
No, but yeah, but I haven't.
If you motherfuckers ever leave me,
but I haven't done the whole level 24 security thing. So maybe I can't say for sure. I would say
you've never let someone in like on that level.
Let's say clearance level 10 or 15.
Okay.
But
That's still pretty deep, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
oh yeah.
well,
Because we were talking about level 12 clearance.
no,
Oh,
but
I thought you said 21. My bad.
No, level 12 clearance.
Sorry.
That being like the highest.
Sorry. Then yeah, go 5, 6.
Level 5 or 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Not 15.
now, okay. I want to ask a question, but I'm not sure if you're cool with like airing this shit.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
I'm cool with any. The only thing you can't talk to me about
He talks about it.
is a very personal sex question. But other than that,
Okay.
I'm open to everything.
But butt sex is cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yo,
All right.
I'll tell you after the podcast what it is.
Okay, no, okay. Now, you're saying that you wouldn't open yourself up to someone like that. Or you haven't.
I haven't
Done
yet.
it.
I haven't
Now,
yet. As far as
but-
I think, yeah.
Didn't you?
No names though. But
No,
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
names. You and the ex. Didn't y'all live together?
Super quickly. So we've known each other for like 11 years, college and all that stuff. And then there was a moment where she was going to get not really evicted, but kind of kicked out. She couldn't afford her rent anymore. We just started the relationship like within 1 or 2 months. I know, right?
Okay.
So,
How many guys? Let's go.
so because I've known her for so long, and there has been moments in the past where she'd spend the night at my house when we would go back up to college, and I would drive all the way up to the 5 freeway with her and stuff like that as just friends. I saw no problem. Now at the time I was living in, 3-bedroom house, 2 baths, front and backyard. So it was empty. It was just me there. So I was like, sure, why not? Just move in. And then
But y'all shared a bed, didn't you?
we did. So we didn't have to, but we did. And that was more, I wouldn't say
It was more of a convenience than love.
for her,
I'm saying
possibly.
in general.
Oh, for me?
Yeah, because
I took it as it was something I would do for anyone. So it's
Oh, okay.
I
I felt
sleep
like
in the bed with you.
yeah. Huh?
I'd sleep in the bed with you. I would sleep in the bed.
I was
with
like,
you,
did I
Ken.
hear that right? Well, no, I actually offered my place to you at one point.
I know you have. You're definitely that guy.
Yeah. So
Like you would rather offer your house than let a friend of yours sleep outside.
Yeah.
You're definitely that guy.
yeah, someone that's super close to me that I have gotten that level 5, 6.
Joe has that look in his eye, bro.
let all of you sleep
Yeah, because I offered it to you and your lady.
Look at this guy.
Before
Look at this guy.
right when you had your first kid, I think I said I offered the house for you to be in because it was a bigger house, it's close to your job, stuff like that. So in my mind, it is kind of convenient.
To
for
this
them.
day, I have my own place. Keenan still offers me to live with him.
Yeah,
That's just the kind of guy he is.
yeah. But to get back to your statement, so to add on the whole letting in part, I didn't take it as in like I knew it was a big step. And I knew there was a lot of complications that happened, which eventually happened to me about having somebody move in after not really developing that true love connection for like a couple years or so.
So you're saying it was kind of like it was you jumped the gun?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I wanted it though. Now, most of the things in my
Now,
life,
do you think you wanted it, or did you really want it?
I wanted to have that. I wanted to have that experience of somebody my girl living in my apartment. Like I was.
So it had nothing to do with love. You just wanted the experience.
That's what I wanted physically. If you're talking mentally and emotionally,
Yeah.
that was there.
Because that's kind of what we're talking about. Opening yourself up, level
So
12 clearance.
So I'm getting it differently. Okay.
So
yeah.
How I mean, because that's pretty deep. Living with someone is a pretty deep situation.
When you're romantically with them?
When you're romantically involved.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that you weren't level 12 clearance open to her,
no, and
while you guys were living together, it's
and that's what that I might have been delusional.
Okay.
But it was something that again, from watching other people in my life, which I've done most of my life, I've seen the downhill road that can happen to. And I knew that going into it. Mm-hmm. But maybe my love was so deeply rooted. It's like, I know where I'm going to be ending up, where I don't like to be ending up, because it's a high probability it will, but I'm willing to take that risk because I love the person.
So it was level 12, or it wasn't yet?
It wasn't.
You were hoping that it would become level 12.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
You were trying to expedite the process.
Yeah. And I knew, well, I wasn't personally trying to, but I knew the opportunity came to me to expedite it. I was like, sure.
I mean, I remember when that whole thing happened, I was like, damn, he's doing it. My boy.
Well, because see, I'm old and I wanted, kids and family and stuff like that before I hit 30. And so now I saw an opportunity of that kind of happening. Because I did tell them, full disclosure, that I did want them to be the mother of my kids. But not in a way where I was like, I'm going to put a baby in you, something like that. It was very serious. Yeah. And we definitely did talk about marriage and having kids and stuff like that.
So how was it not level 12 if you guys spoke about marriage?
I don't know. Because I can't be 100% certain that I wasn't, allegory of the cave-ish, kind of thing.
Okay.
I want to say yes, but, as things turned out, it could have been a no. I mean, I look at a lot of things.
It was an apparent no, because now.
Oh yeah, I know, because I was sick. But I look at pretty much most of the things in my life with multiple scenarios and analogies and expectations and stuff I probably really shouldn't be doing. Kind of like Doctor Strange when in Infinity War when he was doing all that, going through like a million lifetimes and stuff like that.
Okay, so but.
Wait, was that not the answer to the question?
It's safe to say no.
Side.
It's safe. I think it's safe to say though that at the moment maybe you were level 12.
Yeah.
In retrospect, now you say you weren't.
Yeah.
But you can't. That what I'm saying is you can't say that you weren't at level 12
at the time
at ever. You can't say that you've never experienced that because technically you kind of did. Because I think at the moment you were pretty head over heels. You were like, yeah. And I even remember one time when it was like, yo, I think she might be pregnant. Yeah.
And I told Philly, I kind of hope it doesn't make it sound bad on women. And I don't know if they do that. But at a particular point and when I was retrospecting myself, I kind of felt like it was sprung on me just to see what my reaction was and to see if I can handle it well in case the real thing came along and I wasn't being like a real dick.
I mean, it's not unheard of. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dude, I thought I was being a bad person thinking that. But then again, we didn't really talk enough about if it was real or not, or it could have been real and she could have just taken the.
I think that's something that you don't really speak of though, because that's then, it's grounds for like insulting. Like,
yeah. That I tricked you or make you feel.
If you approach the situation, you're like, yo, were you serious about that, or were you just trying to fuck with me?
Yeah.
That's an opening for her to be like, oh, insulted. I'm insulted. No. Oh my gosh, how would you even think?
Yeah.
And that's a whole situation.
I wouldn't do that, or at least I hope I wouldn't do something like that.
That's the thing about relationships, like especially ones that are on the verge. Like, I mean, we've all been there, that are on the verge of like not working out. It becomes this whole fucking thing where it's like a struggle for who's on the advantage end of things, right? Like who is the most composed and who doesn't have ulterior motives. And it's like, it's just fascinating to me how relationships teach you so much about your blind spots, so much about how you should actually place a limit on what you're willing to give someone. It's not to say to be selfish, but to be conservative, because there's something about being all in for someone that may actually work against you in a relationship. And that could just be a symptom of that person not being the person for you. But pretty much across the board, when a person loses a sense of their own agency, let's say even through no fault of their own, you guys just hit like fucking firecrackers and you're all over each other and you're all invested and all in. Eventually, there's going to be one person. One way or another, one person's going to be like, you know what? Whether they've got the wandering eye or whether they've got the independent spirit that just, it's like, fuck, I just need to be alone for no reason. Like I remember a previous ex of mine one day, we had already kind of been on like that I think we've broken up once before and got back together, right? So, and that's a big fucking deal, man. Like that's a big fucking deal. For me, I was like, people break up all the time, right? But no, in retrospect, when I look at that, that's always been the beginning of the fucking end, the minute it happens once, at least in my book, right? And it's not, obviously I haven't had many serious ones, right? But if I look at the pattern, that's a big point. And I remember one day after that had happened, and we had, essentially, I thought we were fine. What I didn't know was that the entire time after that, boy, was she trying to just tolerate me, which is ridiculous. Because I'm not the best shit since sliced bread, but I think I'm a pretty fun guy to be around. I can be a fun guy to be around, or at least an interesting guy to be around. And so I was really surprised. All of a sudden, we're eating sushi. I'm like inviting her, we're hanging out, and she points to a guy who's like sitting by himself eating. She's like, "You see that? That is fucking awesome. Look at that person eating by themselves." But she said it with like such disdain for like anybody who goes out to eat with somebody. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I would take that as a red flag.
Right. No, I knew that was the beginning of the end. Cause then like next week she fucking like just ghosted me for 2 weeks. And I was like, yo, is everything okay? Like literally would not write. And that's when I was like, do you even want to be together anymore? And she was like, I don't actually. I want to talk to you about that. I was like, it's okay. Like, you don't even have to explain. Like, I clearly 2 weeks later, like, it's okay. It was good knowing you, And she's like, see, that's why I didn't want to say this to you because then I was like, wait, what? And so in my head, I'm like, okay, what the fuck, right? But suffice to say that I just don't seem to understand how we can continue, because at least for me, it's been a pattern. How we can continue to fall. Like, I don't know what I'm not learning. To continue to fall into a situation where you see these things and you don't fucking address them early on, right? Like I clearly want to believe in love that conquers all. I want to believe that you making a mistake isn't going to be the fucking end of it. And at what point is the mistake that you make? Because, there are different levels of mistakes, sure. But man, I'm beginning to see that people have shown me in relationships, what I've seen in relationships is this, right? And it's not usual that I don't have the words for it, but I'm trying to say this exactly right.
You're never going to be able to say it exactly right. So
if I make a mistake, damn, that's a fucking problem. But I hope you'll forgive me, right? But if the other person makes a mistake, it's not as big of a problem as if I make a mistake. Is the feeling that I've had, and it's not that I'm trying. Yeah, it's not that I'm trying to victimize myself. What I'm saying is like,
it sounds like you're trying to victimize yourself.
It's so easy for someone else to make a mistake and then be like, "What's the big deal? I'm sorry," As opposed to if I make a mistake and it's like, even if you say you're sorry,
Oh yeah, we talked about my instances with my roommate. I get the same thing.
In general, and I guess hypocrisy is what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
people are so unforgiving.
I'm guilty of that shit all the time. Honestly, I am. Like sometimes I act like my shit don't stink when for sure it does, for sure. But I also have super high expectations of myself. So, I mean, sometimes I don't give a fuck.
No. Yeah, people.
It's weird. Like
human nature is fucking fascinating, isn't it? It's so interesting how we can just be hypocritical.
Well, see, and that counteracts your hope that people should just address stuff in the beginning, because that can never happen. The people are just,
you're gonna walk on eggshells in the beginning of a relationship. A lot actually, because you want to.
People on their best fucking behavior.
Oh yeah. You want to, you're starting a relationship. You're trying to enchant the person. You want them to know the best of you, So you're not it's going to be harder to address your faults in the beginning of a relationship.
To your 2 kids in, you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
It takes time, right? That's the end of it. It just takes time.
Yeah.
And
love isn't going to be the same for anyone equally or alike.
And when there's love involved, you probably won't even have those issues at all.
That's not true.
No,
you could be in love and have.
Well, I said probably. I didn't mean like for sure.
Because for sure,
I would say if he might have a better success or chance if there was more love involved for the give and take of being able to be honest with each other than when people who aren't in love.
So you're saying if you're fully transparent, there's a better chance that love can blossom.
I guess so. Specifically, I meant like just for that one scenario you're bringing up about being able to talk things out in the beginning. I feel like if the 2 people are genuinely in love with each other, there's a higher success of that relationship lasting longer by expressing each other's.
Where are your numbers for this? How do you know that?
From what I've seen. People that I meet.
You can't say there's a higher success chance, but like.
Well, from the people that I meet, I feel like that is. Like if I run into like 10, 15 people and like 8 of them, 9 of them tell me their stories, as I do talk to people all the time and ask them a bunch of questions about how they met and
digging up dirt on people for later.
Not digging up dirt, just finding out how people are in relationship wise. And then what I've noticed from the people that I talk about when they are willing to open up about their relationship, I find out that the people who are really into each other, which I would consider be an element of love, who they would tell me, a lot of the times the people that would tell me that when they have long relationships, you're supposed to talk things out and express each other's faults to each other and release a lot of those skeletons in the closet in the beginning and throughout, than the ones who don't do that. And I definitely don't go on most of the stuff. I don't go on some sort of data.com bit, which I don't even trust any data anyway. Because a lot of this stuff can be faulty.
Manipulated.
So looking after that doesn't even really work. But personal experiences do.
I just can't say that love is what's going to bind a person, bind couples.
It's not guaranteed. I just say it might be.
There are plenty of abusive relationships, physically abusive relationships, where the dude will be like, "I love her so much."
Yeah, but it's not both ways.
Shit out of her. Yeah,
I don't think it's both ways. I'm talking about both ways.
Like I'm talking about like a dude will absolutely love a woman, and the woman will love him back, and stand the physical abuse because she loves him, and the dude does it because he loves her. But I love her so much that I gotta beat the shit out of her so she remembers that I love her. Like,
from what they say, but their actions they speak differently than what they're talking about.
Because love is different. Love will have you do the dumbest shit ever. Love will have you move somebody in after just meeting them because you love them.
That's nowhere related to beating the shit out of her.
Dude, love is different.
He's just giving you the different examples.
Bro, yeah. My dad used to beat my mom senseless.
Yeah.
Senseless. And my mom would stay with him because she loved him. And my dad would swear he beat her because he loved her.
No, see, that's a statement I don't get behind. I don't believe that.
Well, you might not believe it, but it's a fucking fact. Well, to this day, my mom will still talk about my dad.
Facts
like, oh, man, he was the best.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah, but
I love him.
That's a fact.
My mom will still talk about my dad, like, and she'll still like get emotional about my dad.
Yeah, a fact based on your reality of just you and your parents.
It's not just me and my parents. There are plenty of relationships where
they would say that. They would say that, but I just don't see how that can be a great.
You might not want to believe it, but it's true. It does happen a lot.
That it happens, but it can't be.
It happens.
It's not. It's not a factual
culture all the time.
Yeah, but it's not
all the time.
It's not something that we say this is what it is, guaranteed. That's not 100%.
That's love. That is love.
Well, I will disagree on that.
You don't have to agree with me. It's a fucking fact.
No, it's not. It's not something that can be made a fact. That's a reality based on those people.
That's a lot of realities.
Yeah, but that's not everybody in the entire world.
That's what I'm saying. Love is not tangible.
Yeah,
love can be whatever the fuck it is.
Exactly. And
you might not want to believe that kind of love, but it's still love. It is.
It is. It's not.
So what do you
physical-
think? Love is just happiness and tight and just like beauty and everybody agrees with each other. And that's love?
It's definitely not beating the crap out of somebody and then saying, "Oh, I love you," but I beat you because I love you.
Some people it is.
And then for
people
some,
it is.
then you can't do the opposite. You can't say the opposite is not a representation.
I'm not
of
saying
love.
that it's not a I'm saying, what I'm saying is love is not tangible. So love can be anything in any form. And it's still love because the two people agree on it.
That I don't see how that statement can be an actual because they
all
both
he's
agree on
saying,
it.
all he's agreeing with you, and that's pretty much what's happening. All he's saying is that love takes on many forms, and while some of those varieties it may not be your flavor of love, it is for somebody else. And you don't have to get behind it like
You don't
like you
have
were
to
saying.
agree with me.
All he's saying is that there are a variety of styles where people do love, and it may not make sense to someone else, but love does exist there. That's all that's been said.
That's definitely what I'm
Right.
saying.
Well,
You might not agree with that style of love, but that's still love for some people. That's what I'm saying.
if that's what you're saying, I'm still saying that that's not. Even if you're gonna say you can't agree
Why?
or disagree, I'm just saying that emotion and physical reaction cannot be a representation of
That's
Your-
weird because in the biblical sense, God does so many bad things to people in the name of love. He tortures, he hurts people in the name of love.
which is all mostly made up.
But people swear by religion.
Yeah, but that's what we wrote as humans.
Yeah, but it's love.
Again.
Yeah.
Just like there are different opinions, there are different ways of love. It's not something you have to stand behind. And if you disagree with it, that's fine. And if you disagree with it,
Yeah,
that's
you
fine.
can disagree with me
But
all
you're
day,
saying
but-
I can't disagree.
No,
with
you can disagree with me as much as you want.
Yeah, but you're still saying that.
But
my
it's not
disagreement
refuting it.
has no validation of disagree. It's
Because
like
it's
you can
still
disagree with
love.
me, but you're still wrong. So you're still not.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's you can't have. You can disagree with me and be in your own area, but it has no validation.
Just the same
for
way that
this
you're not
method
agreeing with
marriage.
me that it is love. But I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it's love.
but I can say.
and there are many people.
However, I can't say that's a fact, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a fact, but I disagree with you.
But it's love. That's what I'm trying to say.
All that's happening.
I never said whatever you were saying was not a fact.
Yeah, you did.
No,
You said my
I
stuff
said-
is a fact.
No,
yours
no,
is
no.
an opinion.
No.
and it's- and it's- and
I
it-
never said that ever. What I said is where are your numbers? You're saying it's statistically proven. I was like, what numbers are you talking about?
I didn't say statistically proven.
Yeah, you did. You said
I said
proven.
I said probabilities and maybes, and then you said
I think the
that it was
most
statistically-
important things to take
and
away.
then I was elementing on my statement of what I've seen.
I think it's less.
Maybe
Because
I
I said
misunderstood that.
probably and maybes.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood, but for sure, beating is love for some people.
and even Joe is not saying that he agrees with that.
Yeah, I don't agree that fucking people should beat their asses and be in love like that. Fuck that.
You just agreed.
No,
That was a
and-
statement.
I'm saying that that's a form of love for some people.
And what he was trying to say, that was the point where you misunderstood him, because you guys are actually saying the same thing.
I'm understanding he's talking about the formality and the concept that love is. It's not something that, like I said before, is tangible.
Right. That's what I've been
and
trying to say.
physical
You
that
guys
can
actually
show.
agree.
But-
It's just you the points.
you
where
don't want to
guys-
agree with me that by me saying that two people will be that somebody will get physical with someone and say that that's love. You
I'm
don't want to
saying
agree with
I was saying that I don't see how that is. I'm saying I don't
don't have
understand.
to.
But that's my statement. My statement was I don't understand how that can be. And then you went on a whole thing
That's
about
what
how
I'm
that's.
saying.
I was like, but
you
I'm
might
like,
not understand it, but
Yeah.
for some people that is love.
And
I'm not
even-
saying that I agree with people beating each other and being in love, but for what I'm saying is that for some people they consider that love. It's not for me to decide whether it's love or not.
yeah, okay. But however, I'm still letting you know that
Cianan
don't-
is telling you that his opinion is that
That you don't agree with me, and that's fine.
yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah,
you
but
can not agree with me.
I just don't even see how, like, this is still a thing. Like, you guys have agreed, and disagreed on different points.
We've agreed
but
to disagree,
yeah,
and that's fine.
it's like where are you confused most, Keenan? By the whole thing? Because all Joe is trying to say is that there are many forms of love, and including the one with the beating, he doesn't even agree with it. Even he doesn't understand it, but he knows that people love. And I hear you when you're saying, and that's cool. I still am standing by. That's probably not healthy love, is what you're saying. If that is love, it's definitely not healthy love, because that's not the way I would love.
I'm saying the definition of love, that piece or that element,
the ideal love shouldn't necessarily be that, is what you're saying.
Be a part of it or be an example of it.
And again, and that being true and agreed by all here, Joe is also saying just like that is also true. There's also some people out there who for them it is true, and that's cool that you don't stand by that either, because even I don't. I'm just saying that's what happens in more cases than one, and it's a crazy fucking world the way people love. And that's what we're all just saying. And I'm just like, wow, how did we get what?
I'm saying that I don't think.
And by the way, thanks for being so transparent, Joe. That must have been hard to share, like just in general. You know what I mean? It's pretty personal.
It is.
I mean, I didn't even know that shit.
This is none of our business podcast. Like we air shit out.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I don't think when they tell you that they are doing it out of love, that's true. I'm saying
even if they're convinced that they're doing it.
Yeah, I feel like they're saying it just to say it, just to cover something else.
And I guess we'll never know, because we can never know what people are really thinking.
Yeah, I just don't think that when they make those statements that's 100% true.
Because in your mind, how could anyone who loves someone hurt them, right?
In that form, yeah.
Yeah.
On a consistent basis.
I thought that's what you were thinking, and that's all I've been trying to say, man, is that we can literally go back and forth all day, and I just want you to know that your points are being acknowledged. Like, I feel like you feel like you're not being acknowledged. Am I incorrect in that?
More of a runaround that I'm not sure I'm not sure if it was sort of like
you're not sure if we also fail to, like, if we're failing to understand that what you're coming from is people who love people don't hurt people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And all we're trying to say is that, believe it or not, we agree with you. And the crazy thing is that there are people out there who will hurt people and believe that it's love. And then those people who are being hurt are going to also believe that that's love. And whether we agree with it or not, that's just the way the world works on both ends of the spectrum.
You don't want to believe that harming someone should be considered love.
And I know. It's like, how can they believe that by being hurt, that's love? I agree with you. What? Yes. I get it. Right. And yet that's standing. People are totally convinced. You should know that if you've never heard of it before.
No, I have heard of it before.
Right.
I'm just saying that convincing may be a lie. Maybe,
sure.
Maybe a
but
lie.
try telling it to somebody who's in love.
That's for sure. But try telling that to someone who's in love.
And that's all he's saying.
Like, you might not agree that that's love, because I don't agree that's love.
That's like somebody still in love with someone, even if they did other terrible shit. And it's like, there's no way someone who loves you would have done that. And it's like, well, I mean, I love him or I love her.
I agree. Like, that's fucking stupid. That's not love. I don't think that's fucking love. If you're beating somebody's ass and they're like, fuck it, she deserves it because I love her. And then she's like, yeah, I do deserve it because I love him. I should have known better. That's fucking stupid. That's what I'm saying. But some people still consider that love. And it's not just
and maybe the word
incident.
Fact fell into the conversation somewhere, but I assure you it was not to be taken serious, because while it may be an apparent fact, we truly don't know what goes inside of people's heads, right? So we can't say for sure, but I will say that there are a lot of instances where that is true. Whether it's a fact or not, I don't know, but it's definitely a truth that I've experienced myself, right? Just like I've experienced the other truth, which is that generally love is one of those things where it usually does good to people and not bad, right? Now, that's a truth, Is it a fact? I don't know. You can't statistically choose either side. Now, the ideal version of love is supposed to be all good and not bad. But since when has life ever been ideal? Rarely. In fact, life often hits the mark. Just off the actual target.
That's good. That's good.
Just to sort of bring it back.
You don't feel you don't look satisfied with that.
Because I have a blank face? No,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Oh, I'm saying I'm not disagreeing with you that that's not love, because I don't think that's love. But for the people experiencing it, they probably feel that's love, and it happens more often than not. For us to even refute that it's not love for them.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying. It happens it happens too often, especially in like, well, I can't even say in like low income, because I'm sure it happens in the highest echelons of society, where, you know, a dude will think, oh, because I bought her all this shit, I could beat the shit out of her and I still love her. I'm sure that happens too. But
The only place it doesn't happen is middle class. No.
I'm pretty sure that shit happens everywhere. But yeah, that's still, people consider that love. I don't agree with it, but it happens too often to overlook.
And
to
with
say
that,
it's not valid.
it is time for the soapbox. We are out of time, my friends, my brothers, and sisters, if you're listening.
It is late.
So,
Keenan has to
Keenan,
go.
you
No, they
always
said
open-
8:12.
8:12? That's
Yeah.
very specific.
Yeah, I don't know why they wrote that, but they said 8:12.
Oh, they probably looked at their GPS.
Probably. Yeah.
So Keenan, opening up the soapbox as usual. Everyone knows no one's allowed to comment, but hey, if you do, well, we'll probably just say, hey, you broke the rules, and then move on.
Yeah. Let's see.
I know you got one, Keenan. You always have a soapbox. I, on the other hand, didn't prepare.
Neither did I. Well, I didn't have a list. I thought I had
Just
something
had a
else.
great week, haven't you?
And I still have a job, so
Yeah, that's
yeah.
not great.
But let's see. My soapbox is
Keenan's like that episode of Family Guy, Peter Griffin. My name is Peter Griffin. It's like, wait, that is your name. Oh, shit.
shit. No, a lot of stuff did happen as far as birthday week or day was concerned. Didn't really get on the road too much, so I don't have a lot of road rage soapbox. No.
Damn.
No soapbox for me today.
None, nothing. You're not going to say anything.
No.
Are you serious?
Nothing at all?
Nothing, Keenan? You have nothing in your soapbox chamber.
Not a positive note? Not a negative note?
It was just a sort of like a
It was a clear black night.
the week was kind of like, I mean, there was some moments where it was kind of nice, you know, but it wasn't like I can't wait to talk about this on the podcast. Yeah, I mean, I had a
Damn.
good birthday day. Yeah, I had a good birthday.
Hey, it could be short and sweet. If you had a good birthday, man.
Yeah,
All right.
birthday day,
Which is weird
Had a
because you were
birthday
totally
day.
complaining earlier that you had a terrible birthday that people didn't hit you up and take care of you. But,
That's not a complaint. I was just making a statement.
oh.
All right.
All right. Soapbox for me, since I'm always number 2. I don't have them prepared, but what I will say is that I keep telling myself that I don't know what I want from life, and that's the only reason I can't seem to help myself the way I can clearly help others. I'm almost dumbfounded often by the way I'm able to just spew out fucking word vomit that hits on so many dope ass points for people. And then like I'm by myself and I'm like, all right, Phil, time to do it for you. And it's like I've never read a book in my life about how to do something. And I'm like, damn. And I'm beginning to suspect that I've somehow fallen into learned helplessness. And it's something I want to work my way out of, because I don't know if it's me now using it as an excuse to sort of indulge in some half-ass, oh, woe is me. You know, like, I tend to be self-critical, but I think there's also a point where self-indulgence goes too far. And like, I've just reached a point where I personally feel that, and I don't know if this happens to you guys out there listening, you, the listener specifically, right? I should have more respect to you, whoever you are that's listening. That, do you ever just feel like you aren't even coming close to what you're really capable of? And you are always dishing out advice to other people left and right because the stakes are lower if you can just hand that information off to somebody and see if they can do something about it. And I don't know if it's fear of failure that's keeping me from going after what I really want in life. Like really waking up early, actually exercising. It's not like, oh, those are the things I'm supposed to do. But like, I genuinely I believe I can be so fucking badass. Like, I could kill the fucking game, get out there and do this shit. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I didn't sleep properly. I didn't eat right the other day. Fucking can't believe I'm still thinking about that. You know, like, damn, life fucking. And then I'm like, all right, I got all these plans. And then all of a sudden I get all these phone calls from all these people and asking me all these favors and things I didn't expect and interested in this. And then I look at the end of the day and I'm like, what the fuck happened to my day? Right? And I'm beginning to realize that you really have to steal it for yourself. This life, after you get to like a certain age where like people actually start giving a fuck and they found out that you can be useful, like after that point, you really got to steal that shit for yourself. That one slice, like if you really want something for you, you're going to have to find where it fits in your day. And if that means that you have to wake up earlier or do it which is probably not a good idea to do it like later on at the end of the day because you're already burnt out and you gave your best energy to somebody else or some other fucking thing. Like, I think that's what it is. I figured it out. Wherever your best energy is, determine where you think it's the most important for you to invest at, whether it's in others because you care about them or towards that ambition that you have. But just know that even though you have a lot of energy, not all of it is the best energy. And at some point, the toothpaste looks like you might need to get a new tube and go out to the store, right? So make sure that main squeeze out of the day, you're doing that where you want to. Because if you're not, you have nobody to blame but yourself. And that is as true for me as it is for you. So if that helps, I hope it did, because I'm starting to see that that's really where it's at.
Short and sweet. All right. That was lovely. That was lovely. All right. So, couple things. Cianan, happy birthday. This is the end of your birthday week. So happy birthday. You're old as shit now. So. But we're kind of there. I don't know. I'm there too. So I'm right around the corner. For whatever reason, I don't feel like, I don't feel old. I don't feel like 36 is nothing. Like I don't feel any different than I did when I was younger. Like 10 years ago, I fucking still feel great. And I do a lot of dumb shit like I did when I was 26. So, so there isn't much of a difference for me. I'm just like, in a higher tax bracket. I don't know. Which is, whatever. But so happy birthday. I love you. Whatever. Went to Disneyland this week, yesterday actually. That's great. Get to go to Disneyland with no kids. You always forget, especially as parents, you forget that you have lives too, and that you should be able to treat yourself and you should be able to do things that you want to do as well. So fuck the kids. Went to Disneyland. Yes, I said it. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of parents out there are thinking it too. Like, yeah, fuck those kids. At least for a day or so. And you just do whatever the fuck you want, man. Do that shit. remember that you're a human being and you're an individual, and your family doesn't define you. Like you can still have your own self, be your own self. You can still be your own self. So yeah, we went to Disneyland, had a ball, and that was dope. That was super dope. Didn't have to worry about getting on rides or any of that shit, and stayed till the very end and rode as many rides as possible. So that was fucking dope, you know. And then finally, I think I had like a breakdown. On Friday, I like, you try not to, you don't realize what pressure. That's why it was so satisfying for me to go to Disneyland on Saturday, because I had a super tough Friday. Like my Friday was fucked up. Like I ended up in Coachella, like, and just dealing with a bunch of pressure from work, and then the one person that you can feel, not the one person, but I tend not to rely on other people. Like I tend to do shit myself and knock shit out myself. And yeah, I have a great team that helps me, but in the end, like I'm the one that has to put shit together. Like yes, maybe I have a team and my team works hard as fuck to build and do all these things, but they wouldn't be able to do that without like the shit that I put together and the people that I talk to and all that stuff. So I had a situation where, I ended up in Coachella, like it's fucking, 1 PM, and clients asking for this shit. And I'm like, all right, well, fuck. All right. And I can't say no to the client because, we've done all this work and I know it can be done. So I can't honestly say, no, I'm not going to help you when I know that it's something that's achievable. So I had a situation where the client asked for something and like I said, I'm usually the guy that's like, that takes care of shit himself and will accomplish a bunch of shit without asking for help. And I try to wait till the very end, like to where I'm in a situation where like I need help now. Like I really need help because I can't do it myself. So it came to that point on Friday and I reached out to someone for help and they were like, oh, like, they gave me a little pushback and I'm like, yo, like, first off, I'm the dude that doesn't ask you for help. Like, I'm the guy that'll wait and do shit myself so I don't bother you. So for you to react, a certain way with me when I'm like the last person, it kind of hurts, and I kind of had like a breakdown. I kind of like started tearing up and I was like, fuck, the person that I was hoping would be able to help me when I'm in a situation and I know, I kind of need help now. I can't do this by myself. This portion of this, I can't do by myself. I need help. So for them to kind of like, it's not, they didn't tell me no, but it was more like, fuck, all right, like, fuck, all right. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm like, excuse me? Like, and they're like, fuck. I said, fuck. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, like, I'm the last person you should be talking to like that. I'm the one who provides you the most help. And I understand. And again, I understand because they're in a similar situation too. Like they get overworked and they're stressed out and everything. But I'm still cognizant of the fact that people might be going through some shit. So I try not to bother them. But I'd like to think that people would reciprocate the same type of feelings. Like, okay, like, you've been a great person to me. So if you need something, even though I'm stressed or I'm going through some shit, I'm gonna treat you the same way you've always treated me. Like, so the fact that didn't happen, it kind of like struck a chord with me, and I did tear up, and I was like, fuck, man, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, this person realized what they had done, and obviously they were like, oh fuck, man, I'm so sorry, and I don't hold anything against them because I know that they're going through some shit too. That they're having a tough time. So, but I think it was just the reaction that got me. And again, I don't harbor any bad emotions. If anything, like I have more love for the person because, they showed that they were vulnerable as well, and obviously nobody knows. I mean, now everybody knows that I cried, but like nobody, as far as work is concerned or anything, knows that I had a moment, because I don't allow people to see that. But I feel like I should kind of just state it because I know that people should hear it. Like that you can be the strongest person in the world and the most reliable and the most independent and all this stuff, and you'll still break down and you still have moments. So I had that, and I just feel like it was a moment for me to be like, yo, not everyone's gonna treat you the same way that you treat them. And it's not to say that they're bad for it or they're evil people for it. It's just that they have their own shit, and they don't have the same wherewithal. They don't have the same values, or not that their values are any less, but like we're not all equal, and we're not all the same. We're not all we're not all gonna agree on the same things, and that's cool too. But it's okay to be vulnerable. That's cool. It's okay to cry, because I cry. I don't cry a lot or often, but I do. Except if it's an anime, if it's like a super dope ass anime and there's like a super emotional moment, motherfucker, I would be like, oh. But that's not the same kind of cry, That's not the same kind of emotional situation. But yeah, that happened to me, and I was like, yo, I do still have a heart, because that hurt. And I don't hurt easily, like I don't hurt easily. Like somebody can't hurt me, and maybe it's because I think I'm better than a lot of people. Like, so it's like, okay, it's like that. I don't know if you guys have watched Rick and Morty recently, any of the new stuff or anything, but there's a moment where I think you might have seen this, Cianan. It's the heist episode. Yeah, you saw it. Okay, you guys saw the heist episode. So in there, like the crowd is booing him, and he's like, "What did he say?" He's like,
"I've seen what you clap for."
I see what you clap for, and like, yeah, like, or he says, "Your berating or something gives me energy," or something like. So it was something like that. But that's me. Like, I don't care like how people feel or think or talk. If they talk shit about me, like, I don't care. Like, I'm fucking dope. Like, so they could feel ill about me as much as they want, but if it's like someone that you actually really like hold in high esteem, and like and they react a certain way, it's like, damn, it's good to know that I still have a heart, and I do get my emotions hurt sometimes. So, and then, like I said, it's good to be vulnerable. I think that's all I got, guys.
You're human.
Am I though?
I've seen your balls.
What? You've seen my balls?
Yeah, that's how you can tell somebody's human or not.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
But dildos have balls.
Oh, you're right.
That's an interesting dildo. You're right. Actually, yeah,
that's
right.
an interesting dildo.
You know what's funny?
You just said that's an interesting dildo.
You know what's funny is I've actually
that's an interesting dildo. Yeah.
I've only seen 2 dildos in my life.
Okay.
Like I've seen photos, but like in person. And
I've seen videos, I've seen photos, all that shit. But in real life,
no. I remember the first time I saw it. I went to visit like an old coworker of mine, like years ago, right? And like I was like, I need to use your bathroom, or whatever. And she was like, oh yeah, let me just clean up. Sorry, I have my stuff all over the bathroom. Like all, what's it called, hair curling iron all over the toilet, all that shit. I was like, oh, no worries. And she was like English. She didn't give a fuck. She was like, oh, sorry about this. And she whips out the biggest fucking dildo I ever. I was like, God damn. And I was like, I almost wanted to say it out loud. But I was like, ah. But in my head, I was like, oh.
Did it get next to your face? Like,
no,
when she it?
But when she like kind of moved it around, it's still moving on its own. I was like, good God, that's a big fucking dig. I was like, that's a big fucking dick.
Billy, you never been to a sex shop before?
That was the other time that I saw that.
Oh, okay.
I had an
shop?
ex who wanted to go shop for some sex toys.
Yeah.
It's a long story. But
that's pretty short story. That's a pretty short story.
That's pretty much the story.
That's pretty much it. That's the story right there.
But this caught me off guard because she pulled it out from like off from like the back of like the bottom of the toilet. And she's like, "Sorry about this," and like I was like, "Whoa,
Sorry about this."
But I tried to play
the Blastmaster, the Blastmaster 7000 Black Edition
With balls.
with balls. And it wasn't until I was, because at first when you said it, I was like, dildos have oh, they do. That's an interesting. Oh yeah, they do. They actually all have balls.
Not all of them, but there are dildos.
There's
that
some that are out there.
But they got the little bullets or the the wands.
Yeah.
There's a variety of them.
Massage
I
one.
just remember that shit even had veins on it. I guess it was like extra.
That was a veiny bastard.
Yeah, dude. I just remember like I tried to play it as cool as possible, but that shit caught me way off guard, man. I was like, whoa.
Man, dildos are a dime a dozen.
Can they do what this does? Huh? No?
Probably better.
Oh.
Dildos can do it better. Should that be the name of this episode? We didn't choose a name for this episode.
Make love, not war.
Hey, nice. I like that.
All right.
Dun, 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 dun,
This one doesn't even deserve a beatbox. We're gonna leave it there.
dun,
We're gonna leave it there.
Philly has now full control of the podcast.
What
Joe
is
is out.
happening right now?
He's doing it out of love. Don't worry.
Oh, I know who beatboxes like that.
Fuck you. Eat your woman out.
Eat
Suck your man's dick.
make love, not war. Oh,
God.